And here we go. Yes, sir. Wednesday, February 9, 2022. Ermanni Edwards, the bottom line. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, my guy. It is amazing 40 degrees outside, so I'm feeling much better. Actually feeling like I'm overdressed with these boots and this long sleeve, warm thermal shirt on. But feeling good, feeling great. Great lunch. Oh, by the way, catch you up on the Winter Olympics.
Oh, yeah. Get me up to date.
USA has moved up in the medal count. Now they have 7 total medals. They have 1 gold. They finally have a gold medal. They have 5 silver, and they have 1 bronze. So they're moving up the chart. But Germany, who we all thought was going to win, they're in the lead right now currently with 5 gold medals.
Olympics?
They're the Winter Olympics, baby. You got to get on board.
Really?
Oh, man.
Winter Olympics, you got to get on board.
The Olympics are on?
They are on right now. Curling is on right now.
Oh.
It is China versus Sweden. They're showing the replay of yesterday.
Can't wait.
Silly thing about this, Tom Mazawey. Do
like
you
curling's
think
always on.
Does NBC get out of the Olympics what they put into the Olympics?
No.
I can't imagine.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
I can't imagine it's beneficial to the networks any longer, like it used to be in the 70s or the 80s or something, like even the 90s, or if it was here in the United States. I just don't understand what networks are getting out of it now. So many people are not watching it. The viewership is down over 50%. Nobody knows any athletes.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, who's an Olympian right now in the 2022 Olympics? Anybody?
I
can't do it.
I give you a couple skiers, a couple of hockey
You can?
players.
You can't do it.
Michaela Schifrin last night, she was one of our hopefuls. She's already won gold in previous Olympics. She did not qualify, and she sat in the fetal position in the snowbank for about 45 minutes, did not move because that's how upset she was. So there's a couple stars out there. There are figure skaters and stuff.
She didn't qualify.
She had a bad run, Russ. Listen,
that's an oopser.
I'm not watching it, and
Right.
I used to love the Olympics. I'm tuned out this time.
I will tell you this: there is a star that's coming back for his last
The tomato.
Winter Olympics, man. You know who that is? My guy Shaun White.
The flying tomato.
Shaun White is back for his last Olympic run, so I'm very excited about that. He cut the hair. He has a different look, but he's still the same guy, the flying tomato, as Maz likes to call it.
Speaking of cutting the hair, looks like you have you did some
a new coif.
You did your hair today. It looks great.
Well, today is go ahead, Alex. It's okay. You can zoom in on a little bit. Shout out to my boy Tay West, right around the corner.
Is today picture day?
This is what we do. Wednesdays. I like to get nice on Wednesdays. This is the middle of the week. You kind of try to ride a decent looking haircut all week. So I feel good, man. I feel good. Tay hooked me up. I'm just ready to rock and roll.
Tom?
I complimented him. I said you look great.
We need to come to an understanding.
Yeah.
And he's got the Jets pullover on.
That's for Braylon.
I appreciate that.
You and I need to come to an understanding real quick.
Yeah.
Okay. Is your audio, because I control
I knew that was coming.
Maz's audio in his
horrible.
ears. Let me ask you.
It's horrible.
Is the audio at an appropriate level right now?
Right now, yes.
So
but the minute we play a commercial or some video that we're going to play, my ears, I'll be blasted out.
So maybe, just a suggestion, because it's something that I do, when we do play a video or we go to commercial, just pop it out a little bit. You'll still be able to hear it.
I understand.
Just pop it out a little bit.
I get it.
And then when you go back, it's like that.
I apologize for always asking you to turn me up, turn me down.
No, it's not an apology. It is a significant inconvenience to me when I'm trying to pay attention to what Braylon's having to say here.
I apologize.
Yeah.
Please accept my apologies.
And it is accepted.
Good.
Apology accepted.
Such a nice guy. See how we were able to work that out as gentlemen?
Yeah.
My hat's off to you.
Seriously. Great show for you today. We got Rod Beard, Detroit News Pistons writer, coming up at the top of hour number 2.
That's our NBA Insider.
It is. I want to talk to Rod about a number of different things. First and foremost, what in the world is happening with Jeremy Grant? His name is being talked about and associated with just about any team that is looking to improve and to go on a little bit of a playoff run here. But Jeremy Grant remains a Detroit Piston. And, oh, by the way, one of the guys who's significantly plays worse when Jeremy Grant is active is Saddiq Bey. So you have this push-pull right now. How do you keep Jeremy Grant and at the same time, Braylon, kind of, lift up Saddiq Bey too? Because when Jeremy Grant is playing, Saddiq Bey plays at this level. And who's more important to the future of your program right now? I would say Saddiq Bey.
Yeah, it's an interesting topic. You look at last year when they knew, well, speaking of they, talking about Saddiq Bey, when Saddiq Bey knew that Jeremy Grant was the premier scorer on the team last year. He knew that role. He knew what his role was around there. Your role is to come here, play some defense, hit open shots. Your role is to be a number 2 scorer kind of on that team. Get your feet wet. Get your feet wet. Get defense. That's why he was really good on defense. That's one of the reasons why he made first-team All-Rookie is because of how good he played on the defensive side of the ball. This year you add their number 1 pick, Cade Cunningham, the guy that they want to turn the keys over. The guy that they have turned the keys over to. Now Jeremy's trying to figure out where he fits in the scoring situation. Saddiq is trying to kind of figure out where he fits in. It's just a matter of chemistry. Where do I fit in? What's going on? And not to mention there's been a lot of injuries, so they haven't necessarily been on the court a lot together for them to find that out. So that's just a little knowledge I know. Can't wait to talk to Rod Beer a little bit more about that.
The Pistons are a chemistry experiment gone wrong.
Yeah.
They're not right. Last year, they were fun to watch. This year, I barely watched a couple of games combined. And I know it's coming to that time where I'm going to have to start concentrating on basketball and hockey for a while. And I will. But I'm just not enjoying it, to tell you the truth. And he's 26, Jeremy Grant. He's not an old man.
Right.
The guy's a good player. I would not give him up. I'd rather hold on to him as a chip for next year if I had to. Or going forward. I might even re-sign him if I don't get the right deal. The man could play. And he's only 26 years old. The rest of the guys are 20 and 21 years old. I get it. There's a 5-year gap between these guys. But who's to say that this guy can't score 20-plus a game and get you those assists and rebounds going forward?
Talking about Jeremy Grant, correct? Yeah, no, he actually did do that last year. Going into the game that I went to, I think I saw the Pistons play on, I believe it was Valentine's Day, so it damn near was a year ago coming up that I saw them play. He was averaging 26 at the time that I saw him play. Now, his overall totals went down, I think, by the end of the year. He was out at 22, 21. He was 26, 7, and 7 when I went to see him play. Like, he's the guy that, if the Pistons were good, would have been an all-star last year. So we know he can put the ball in the hoop, and we know he can assist and he can rebound. It's just about finding that chemistry. I know you keep hearing that word, and that's why I'm so eager to talk to Rod today, because we've heard this. We've talked to Rod. This will be the 3rd time that we've talked to Rod, and it's about, injuries early on, them not being on the floor at the same time, so you can build that cohesion. How long can we ride that narrative? How long can we continue to talk about that? It has to be something else going on, something else that we can hear from Rod. Got to ask him some tough questions.
Yeah, and one of the questions I'm going to ask him is about the head coach, Dwayne Casey.
Yeah.
Look, he's been the head coach here since 2018, and I know this has been a really, really rough go of it. But at the same time, I mean, we're seeing things like, lack of chemistry. Team gets blown out almost every night. I mean, the development of players go up and down, but is anyone or anything kind of inclining consistently? So, how much longer do the Pistons go with Dwayne Casey? I mean, does a new voice need to even be entertained? Does the idea need to be entertained of a different voice for the Detroit Pistons?
And you bring up a good question. You talk about it. I think so much is being made right now in the NFL. Talking about coaches. Lovie Smith just got hired. He's 63, but the majority of the coaches in the NFL, 46, 36, 39, 38, insert young age here. Dwayne Casey's 64.
Yep.
Dwayne Casey's 64, and you look at the teams that he's been through. He took Toronto through that building process and built that up and made it something special, and got fired when he shouldn't have been fired. Got brought here and built this system up.
He couldn't beat LeBron. That's why he got canned.
And that ain't his fault, because a lot of people
couldn't. Yeah.
Exactly. But and now you're looking at another rebuild with the Pistons. You had to build this system up. You had to get rid of Blake Griffin and try to start all over again. Does he have it in him at 64? At 64, you got to look in the mirror and say, damn, this is my life. I got a team that they just can't win there. I understand they're young. There's no cohesion right now. They're trying to figure it out. But at 64, do I want to help them figure it out? Or do I want to say, you know what, I've done all I can. I'm sorry I put you in this position. I'll finish this season out, and I will gladly bow out and let you guys bring somebody else here. Because at 64, I'm not trying to figure that stuff out. I'm trying to have more quality and fun of life.
And even, you don't have to get rid of him. I mean,
I'm saying if I was
elevate
him,
him to the front office
Yeah.
or something. Hey, give him it just seems to be like.
Want to bring John Beeline down and put him up?
No, I don't want to bring him down either. I do think, maybe a different voice potentially could be needed. It's worth exploring is what I'm saying.
I'll tell you this.
I don't
want to put any 60-year-olds out of business.
Yeah.
No,
I really don't.
You bring them up, elevate
But
them
I
up.
will say this. Young players that are coaches, let's take Jason Kidd, for instance.
Chauncey Billups.
Oh, he sure.
That's what I was about to say.
Hey, Jason Kidd, he sucks, if you ask me. Look at the Brooklyn Nets. They were down 28-2 yesterday. Yeah, I said that. 28-2, and they got blown out again. The Brooklyn Nets. Jason Kidd.
That's Steve Nash.
What have you
now,
done
which
to
is
me?
Another player, though. That's Steve Nash.
That's what I meant. Steve Nash,
but
not
you're
Jason
right, though.
Kidd.
But you're right. He was given
Yeah.
a situation that you can't fail in, and he's failing. But to your point, that's what I was about to say. It's not working out so well in Rip City. Rip City, obviously, being Portland. It's not looking well out there. What if you bring Chauncey back? If you bring Chauncey back, Chauncey's a young guy. You bring him back as a coach and elevate Dwayne Casey, like you said, in the front office.
Yeah, I just look. I think it's worth exploring. Is all I'm saying. I really love Dwayne Casey. I think he's a great man. I think he's a great coach. But something just doesn't seem to be clicking with this team right now, and whether that's a product of injuries. Everybody's got injuries. Everybody's dealing with the same thing, whether it's a young roster or what. Just doesn't seem to be clicking right now, and the chemistry certainly isn't there. We'll talk to Rod Beard about that. But next, guys, I want to get to a major move by the University of Michigan in terms of moving into this new NIL. Tell you what they did today, what they announced today. Also, they have a new defensive coordinator. We're going to talk plenty of Super Bowl
OC as well.
And something you have got to see that happened last night in the Kentucky basketball game. Don't tell me these guys don't know what the number is. Don't tell me these guys don't know what the number is. We'll get to it all in our number one. Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network on a beautiful Wednesday, 40 degrees outside. The whole crew is here having a good time. Ermanni and Edwards, Woodward Sports Network.
It's like spring.
Line. It is. It's spring, fake spring. it's
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
What's the over-under? Should I tease? Who is the lock of the night? Make sure you're watching Woodward Bets to get the latest in sports betting and more. Woodward Bets daily on Woodward Sports.
SMA has been leveraging athletic relationships as well as other notables now for the past decade. I myself have been one of them. Lomas Brown is one of them. Herman Moore is one of them. Devin Gardner, Valley Sports Zone, is one of them. And Michael Ealy, former actor, has done some things as well for SMA as it relates to helping out mental health issues and substance abuse disorder. We have been working hard with it. Oakland Health Integrated Network, as well as the Detroit Wayne Health Integrated Network, going out into the communities, going out to the wellness centers, the wellness group downtown at Eastern Market, and helping out with these and lending a voice, lending an ear, and battling against fentanyl. In fact, coming to the Woodward Sports Podcast Network, it's going to be The F Word, featuring Woodward Sports and SMA, Sean Jordan, The F Word, and the F Word is for fentanyl. If you know anybody that struggles with substance abuse, anyone that struggles with mental health disorder, please reach out via their website at thesportsma.com. That is thesportsma.com. We are here to help you.
So the University of Michigan made a big step today. We'll talk about that in just 1 second, but I want to thank everybody that's on the YouTube chat right now. Thanks so much. Go ahead and smash that like button for us, and if you haven't subscribed to Woodward Sports, please do so. 300 subscribers shy of 20,000.
Let's get there.
How about it?
Let's get there.
19.7 subscribers, 19,700 plus subscribers.
We've only been around for just over a year.
Coming up on 20,000 subscribers right now, and we certainly thank each and every one of you for being a part of Woodward Sports Network and watching along with us on YouTube or getting your podcast anywhere podcasts are found.
Yeah, at the end of the day, let's call a spade a spade. Shut up, Alex.
sports.
Let's call it. Everybody always makes fun of me because I always use a spade as one of my crutch phrases, but I love it. What can I say? But we grow with you as we see you guys comment, as we see you guys smash that like button, as Ryan always puts it. As we see our numbers grow, the subscriptions grow. It makes us work that much harder. It makes us dial in that much. It makes us come to work that much eager to be able to talk to you and be with you guys here for these 2 hours that we have. Kick it, have fun, and just shoot that barbershop talk. So, you guys, we love you. You love us. Let's get this party rolling.
All right, let's get this party started with the Michigan Wolverines. One of the things that we've talked about ever since that loss to Georgia that is not Jim Harbaugh related is, can the University of Michigan compete with the big boys? Can they compete with Georgia? Can they compete with Alabama, Texas A&M, LSU, USC, all those Southeastern Conference teams? And something happened today that I think is a significant move in helping to achieve that happen. And that is the university themselves has reached what they're calling the Victors Exchange.
Right.
Through the university, Michigan announces the Victors Exchange, where local businesses can reach out to athletes on deals, directly pay them, and automate a disclosure of the deal through this influencer compliance company. So all we talked about is how Texas A&M does this. And
right.
Texas A&M, they set up this NIL so individual businesses don't have to go to individual athletes. These universities are helping facilitate money from business to the athlete as part of the NIL, name, image, likeness. I think this is how you compete with the big boys. The university had to step in, and they had to get a hold of this thing and help hone it and bring it along, and they're doing that. Significant move for the University of Michigan today.
The thing that's so great about this is we talked about this, and I talked about this 2 weeks ago. I said that Michigan does everything on its own time. Michigan always takes time to put things in place. You talk about how calculated Tom Brady is. Well, hell, where do you think he got it from? He's calculated like the institution that he got his degree from, and that is the University of Michigan. This is a great deal. I've been a part of things like Cameo. Cameo is one thing, and I also was a part of a group that was trying to start something like this a while ago, where you can just reach out online, go to a group, such as, let's say, Cameo. You pick the guy that you want or the person that you want for whatever set event is coming up. And that's similar to what they're doing now, but it's just done at a better clip. Now you got guys that are they name, image, and likeness. You have all the guys on campus, all the people that you might want to reach out to. You as AAA can say, hey, we need a guy for this event or for there. Boom, you go to this system. Now you can plug Blake Corum for this event. Now you can plug, insert J.J. McCarthy, Andrell Anthony, or whatever player, baseball, basketball. And also, it can just be a one-off. That's what also makes it so good. You're not locked into it. You don't have an athlete who he has to be with AAA. The athlete does something for Les Stanford, he has to be locked into Les Stanford. The way that they're doing this, which I believe is so great, if I'm understanding it correctly, you can pick an athlete, use him as a one-off, and then the athlete still is in charge of his own destiny.
And the University of Mass is helping to facilitate this, which it does kind of help the athlete out a lot too, because you just don't have a million different places and
agents
voices
and everybody reaching out to broker deals.
Exactly, just all over the place, just to plop it on the table and here you go. At least this is done the right way, where the university can help bring it along.
Now, John Wangler and Valiant, they had already put out money. I think they spent over like $500,000 already on NIL deals, but this is helping individuals. So, hey, if Michigan knows what they're doing, like Braylon said, they take their time, they pick the right stuff to do it, the right way to do it, and this kind of shields them a little bit as well.
Yeah, also, it shields them as well, but also what it does, Maz and Ryan, it makes it just that much easier for the player, because we got to still realize these kids are still 18, they're still 19, they're still 20, 21. They're still trying to figure out time management. They're trying to figure out how to be, a young man in college. They're still trying to figure out how to get school done, as well as learning the playbook, learning new plays. There's a new offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, which we'll talk about. They have to learn that system. They have to shake the one off from last year. They have to have fun. They have to date. They still have to do regular things. And when you do something like this, it takes a lot of that off the table, where they got to reach out to agents or reach out to brokers and get deals brokered that way, and trying to figure out the do's and don'ts of the ins and outs. This helps the student still be a student athlete.
And look, there'll be more to come on this as more information comes out. We'll hear about more deals as it comes out. But I think the big takeaway today is the University of Michigan seems really, really all in now on playing in the NIL era.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you want your team, whether it's Michigan, Michigan State, to jump in, dive in, and be a part of the future of college football. This is the way to do it. The future of college football is here. We're living in it. We're all trying to navigate through it. And whether it's, Matt Ishbia at Michigan State or now this Victor's Exchange for the University of Michigan, I think both of the major universities in our state right now are going for it. They're playing. They're trying to play with the big boys. Will they be able to? We don't know. Time will tell. But at least they want to throw their hat in the game.
Remember when we broke, this is very early in the year, when we very first started, it was around the second week of doing the show, maybe the first week, we learned about what BYU was doing.
Oh, yeah.
The guy at BYU,
Yep.
the alum at BYU, he basically started, I think it was an energy bar company, or they already had the energy bar company, and they put all the walk-ons that were there, put them on the payroll, so that now all their scholarships, or the lack thereof, would be taken advantage of.
As long as they pubbed the candy
exactly.
bar.
And I told you,
the energy
people
bar.
would use that. I said it will start to come out. They've actually given people a cheat code, like in Alabama, like in Oklahoma, like in Ohio State. It's starting to come around. Tennessee is doing the same thing. Tennessee got 10 PWOs. What a PWO is, it's a preferred walk-on. 10 of their walk-ons are 3-star or 4-star and had offers to Division I schools, but they chose not to do that. They chose to take an NIL deal down there with the Volunteers and become a preferred walk-on. It's Tennessee. They'll probably be starting in no time. You're starting to see like the ramifications of that BYU deal way back in August. Don't be surprised if you see some more of this stuff starting to take place with the Ohio States, with the Alabamas, with the Georgias.
Yep.
Maybe Michigan gets in on it, where you start to get those preferred walk-ons that are 3-stars that you might steal or persuade to not go to a Central Michigan, or you may persuade them not to go to an Indiana. You might persuade them to stay in campus and play ball.
Hey, tomorrow Darren Ravel will join us, longtime business reporter, ESPN. Now he does stuff on his own. I mean, this guy is the one that breaks most of the news in the sports world, in the sports business world. We'll hit him up and see what he has to say about all of this, and if Michigan really is a player in this, and if they can compete with the SEC.
So we'll look
at
for
Ohio State.
We'll look for Darren Ravel tomorrow, and I believe hour number 1 of the program tomorrow.
Yep.
Darren Ravel will be on hour number 1 of the program tomorrow. Also, Braylon, Michigan has hired a new defensive coordinator. I want your thoughts on him. I've got some thoughts as well. You are listening to Woodward Sports.
Yeah, baby. Home of Ermanni and Edwards and the Big Maz in the Maz chair. We'll see you guys in 2 and 2.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
Miraculous catch! Follow us everywhere. Just search Woodward Sports on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, IG, and more.
Hey gang, I want to tell you about Chili Peppers Tanning. That's where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D with spotless sanitized rooms, trained and certified tanning professionals. Join the Pepper Club for all the best deals. You'll beat all competitors by $5. And don't forget to pick up that Australian Gold Designer Skin California Tan and Swedish Beauty Lotions. That's right, ChiliPeppersTanning.com. Hottest bulbs, hottest deals, darkest tans, your vitamin D headquarters. 26 locations and more coming. Big D Energy going to be live from the Berkeley grand opening on Monday, February 21st from 11 to 1.
What was that date again?
Monday, February 21st from Braylon's birthday.
I'm there.
President's Day.
Yes.
Braylon Day.
Braylon's Day.
The President Edwards Day. I'm there.
On Woodward between 11 and 12 Mile Road. ChiliPeppersTanning.com. And we thank them and all of our sponsors here at Woodward Sports Network. Thank you for watching along on YouTube. smash that like button. Let's get to 50 likes before the end of this segment. How about that? Let's get to 50 before the end of this segment. No doubt about it. By the way, from Brandon Justice on Twitter, Michigan wide receiver commit Samaje Morgan confirmed that Ron Bellamy has switched from safeties coach to wide receivers coach. So that is out there. I think that's a pretty significant move for the Michigan Wolverines coaching staff as well. Thought on Ron Bellamy.
That's going to be a great move, and I tell you why. I don't want to discredit anything that the past wide receiver coaches have done over the past 20 years or so, or 15 years that wasn't suit. But you can see the difference, and I've been noticing the difference in wide receivers at Michigan, and it's not their fault. They haven't been getting the correct coaching. When you watch them at the line of scrimmage, just little things I noticed, like getting the DB's hands off them, the way they run routes, the way they stay in phase with the defensive back as they're running deep routes, the way they keep 4 yards to the sideline so that the ball has a chance to drop down to where the ball is. Like, there's a lot of things that I've watched, intermediate routes, breaking down, making sure your eyes stay over the balls of your feet, that you don't slip when you run a route. I've noticed that over the years, and I've been waiting for them to go back to that Eric Campbell route, that Eric Campbell tree. We talk about coaching trees. Eric Campbell, Ron Bellamy played for Eric Campbell. Ron Bellamy has done an amazing job at West Bloomfield High School for 11 years, and you saw the work that he did last year as an assistant DB, so I'm very excited about that move. Now you'll see immediately. Just watch how wide receivers are once the season starts.
It's almost like you were a wide receiver, man.
Well, that's the one position I definitely can talk with the best of them.
You sure could.
Yeah.
Talking about young coaches being hired, Michigan brings in Vanderbilt's defensive coordinator Jesse Minter to serve as the new defensive coordinator for the Michigan Wolverines.
Angelique was all over this story.
Yes, she was. 2 weeks ago, she almost broke out an "I told you" tweet. Ballas, Wolverine, Chris Ballas, tweeted Minter, a candidate for the job, a candidate to join the staff last year, interviewed recently, was expected to get the offer. He seemed number one on the list after former Michigan linebackers coach Larry Foote, now Tampa Bay Bucs linebackers coach, opted to take his name out of the running. So Minter, another young guy in his 30s, another Jim Harbaugh going younger kind of guy. Now Minter coached with Mike McDonald in Baltimore for the Ravens from 2017 to 2020. There was a thought that Minter was going to be on Michigan's staff last year as a defensive assistant, but instead took the coordinator role at Vanderbilt. So he's been a coordinator for 1 year under the same tree as Mike McDonald, same philosophy. We'll see how it goes. Worked out well last year.
I like the optics of this pick. I think I'll start there. I like the optics of this. You got a guy that's 15 years in terms of coaching. He started out with Notre Dame in terms of being a defensive intern. He coached at Indiana State, I believe. He was a linebackers coach, as well as he turned into the defensive coordinator. He was defensive coordinator at Georgia State. He did work with John Harbaugh with Baltimore. He spent some time there 4 years. And last year, as opposed to come on our staff at Michigan, he goes out and takes a head defensive coaching job in the SEC against Vanderbilt. So he got his feet wet in terms of being the head guy, being the head coordinator, the defensive coordinator for the Vanderbilt. And then he comes into Michigan, fresh off of being 2 years removed off that Baltimore staff where he was with Mike, where he was with John Harbaugh. He understands the concepts that were run last year by Mike McDonald and his defense. So just looking at it from that point of view on the optics side, you got to be happy that they're staying consistent with what they did last year. They're not going to have too much changeover for this defense to have to learn. That's one of the big things you worry about when you have such success as Michigan did last year. And then next year you kind of shred everything to Rebs and start over. You don't want to start over. And I think by hiring from within Sherrone Moore, which we'll talk about, and then with Jesse Minter, you're not starting over. You're keeping the same things in place, which will make it an easier transition for the players.
Look, Michigan lost both coordinators this past year, coming off a Big Ten championship. So they got to replace a defensive coordinator. They got to replace an offensive coordinator. And they have done that from within on the offensive side. As you mentioned, Sherrone Moore elevated to offensive coordinator along with Matt Weiss, co-offensive coordinators. Now, generally, I don't usually like the co-offensive coordinator situation because I always feel there's a push and a pull there, and I don't know who's calling plays, who's responsible for plays. Are people happy with the jobs that they get, the roles that they're in? But we'll find out. I think Jim Harbaugh, for the most part, is responsible for the offensive philosophy, and those guys kind of hone it.
Sherrone Moore is a great choice to move from within to move him up because last year he was one of the only coaches that Jim kept around. He was one of the guys that Jim kept around. He put him in a role.
He earned this.
Exactly. Put him in an offensive line coaching job last year, which he had never done before. He had been the tight ends coach previous years to that. Now you elevate him to offensive coach staff. It's a reward. Players love him. He's one of the most beloved coaches on that team. He stays. He's showing you some semblance of normalcy from last year. He's showing you some consistency from a couple years ago. Because there's some kids on that team that are 4 years in, 5 years in. They've been with Sherrone more now for 4 years and 3 years and 2 years. So I think that's a good move, especially you don't have time to go out and recruit and really maybe pull somebody and poach somebody and then bring in a whole new system. I mean, we're in February. Spring ball starts in a week and a half. Spring ball starts in about a week and a half, 2 weeks, where they're going out there, they're getting active, they're learning players all over again. This is the best situation for Michigan this year. Let's hope it pays off. But I tell you like this, I am a huge fan of Sherrone Moore and Jim Harbaugh doing the coach thing with Weiss as well as Sherrone Moore. I think it could be a good move on the offensive side of the ball.
I hope he picked up a couple of tricks from Gaddis, though. I love those trick plays that they broke out towards the end of that year.
Again,
I mean, that offense, man, at the end of the year, when they weren't running on first down, passing on second down, when they got fun and smart, it was very enjoyable to watch.
Here's one suggestion. I only have one suggestion, and from now until the season starts, I promise this is my only suggestion. Until Micah gets there, and I'm going to tell you to start my nephew. But the only suggestion I have is feature A.J. Henning more. We saw A.J. Henning at the beginning of the year. He ran a reverse for 50 yards and a touchdown. Then we never saw him again. Then you saw him a couple brief spots. Got tackled behind the line of scrimmage, 1 yard, 2 yard gains. And then got us implement that great play that he did against Ohio State. The first touchdown that Michigan scored on the face talk and the fake pitch, toss back to the right with A.J. Henning and he scored. Get A.J. Henning more featured in his offense. I'm telling you, that will help you so much more because he can do so many things. He's a return-like player, but he also is a receiver. He also plays in the backfield direction now. Get him more involved.
All right, here's my suggestion, and I promise not to give any more suggestions on Michigan football
Ryan.
until tomorrow. Utilize the talent you have.
Yeah.
Utilize the talent you have. I mean, when we saw that Maryland game last year, Ohio State and Iowa, that was some of the finest offensive play calls that I have seen in a 3-week period at Michigan in over 25 years.
They didn't look Michigan.
They looked like they wanted to play and move into the 21st century.
Yep.
And play like college football teams play that win big now. They could score 60 points like Ohio State could every game if they played that type of offense. What they did to Maryland was incredible. They did what they had to do against Ohio State in the cold and the snow. And then, of course, they were having fun against Iowa. Utilize the speed on your team because this team will probably have more speed than any other team in the Big Ten outside of Ohio State. Man, you should crush teams this year. Don't go Sherrone Moore, Matt Weiss. Run, pass is not an offense that I'd like to see next year. Run, pass is not an offense I'd like to see ever. Unless it's like 20 below, the wind is howling, and you cannot run the or you cannot throw the football. Like, if you want to continue to get all of this talent accumulated at Michigan, you've got to also show that when they get to Michigan, they can be showcased. They can shine. That's all I'm saying, and I use alls for effect.
Listen, Donovan Edwards, he's your unicorn. He's your Deebo Samuel. Use him like the Niners use Deebo Samuel because the kid catches almost as good as Braylon Edwards. No relation. And he can run with the best of them. This kid, he is like a wide receiver in a running back's body. Use him a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's my suggestion.
No, I agree. And don't use them a lot and don't overuse them. I think sometimes you put individuals in situations. Like you see what they tried to do with Donovan Edwards in the Georgia game. Like where they tried to this didn't work, let's throw that out there. That means you get behind the count. When you use these athletes, whether it's A.J. Henning, whether it's Donovan Edwards, obviously Blake Corum will probably go into the season starting running back. When you're using these players, use them ahead of the count. Use them ahead of when teams think you're going to use them. Because when you use them ahead, teams don't know what to expect. Then you can use them like what Donovan Edwards did against Maryland, what Donovan Edwards did against Iowa, they weren't ready for it because they were ahead of the count on that. Don't use those players, A.J. Henny, when they know it's coming. Use them ahead of the count so you can stay ahead of the count all season. Don't get behind.
Guys, I got to get to this video next. If you haven't seen it, it's one of the more stunning videos you will see in sports, really, when it comes to betting, knowing what the line is, and affecting that particular outcome. Not who wins or loses,
right,
but who covers the spread and who doesn't cover the spread. I have bet on games in the past. This is as shocking an event as I will ever see.
Can I ask you a question
Yes.
without exposing our teas? When you saw who it was, were you surprised?
I was still shocked.
Okay.
I was still
That's fair.
shocked at what I saw.
That's
I
fair.
wasn't shocked at the guy on the sideline.
Thank you. That's what I was looking
Ermanni and Edwards.
for. Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
Everything that we've hoped for, finally.
He's going
has
deep, right
arrived.
side. Oh, that is Edwards out there. He goes up in the air at the goal
Hey,
line.
it's Braylon Edwards here, wanting to welcome the sports marketing agency to Woodward Sports Network, to the family. Glad to have you guys. For the last decade, the sports marketing agency has literally leveraged athletes around issues such as mental health and substance abuse.
It's all happening now.
Get a shot up. This is for the win. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
Centron is an aspirational lifestyle. In fact, Centron is the best lifestyle. I wake up in the morning, I'm telling you, I go with the turmeric and pineapple fresh out the gate, the revitalizer shot, drink about 2 bottles of water by the time it's 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. That's why I have to go to the bathroom sometimes during the show, a little bit of TMI right there. And then when the show starts, man, grab myself a little one of these energy drinks that they make. They are so good. Cranberry flavor is the best one. They are not just about giving you energy as it relates to drinks. They're not just about providing water, H2O, and revitalizer shots. They're also about being there for the big moments. The best moments, the most memorable moments in your life, Centron wants to be a part of, man. It is a lifestyle, and it is a lifestyle beverage that I choose every time. Centron, drink it and live it with Centron.
Everybody on the YouTube chat, thank you so much. We're up to 71 likes. Let's get to 80.
Let's do it.
Let's get to 80.
Just a little bit at a time.
Before
We can
the
take our
end of
time.
this segment. Then we'll see if we can get to 100 by the end of hour number 1.
Just take our sweet time.
Let's do that. Let's get to 80 at the end of this segment, and then we'll get to 100 by the end of the hour. Guys, betting and sports has been there for decades and decades and decades. It just so happens it's legal now. And I'm going to play a clip for you from the Kentucky game last night. Kentucky is playing South Carolina on the road. Kentucky is an 11-point favorite, which means they have to win. If you pick Kentucky, they have to win by more than 11 points. The University of Kentucky Wildcats had a 10-point lead with just seconds remaining when this happened. Take a look. Kentucky gets the ball.
Watch the sideline, too.
They throw it ahead. The player, we're going to play this a couple of times, does a psych. He intends to
Let's
make
play
the
the sound.
basket. Yeah, play the sound.
Because you could hear the buzzer and everything. Go-
And they will. Shubway will not take the 2. No, that will run off the clock.
So again, the player doesn't make the basket. He pretends like he's
He's just chilling. He
just
pretends
going to
he's
walk
let the
away.
clock go out. He's gonna
And
let the
then
clock go
when the
out.
buzzer sounds, he turns around and dunks it.
Just before the buzzer sounds. Because his coach, John Calipari.
Yeah, no, it's after the buzzer. He dunks it.
I know, but I think it's very close.
Oh, it's not very close at all. I mean, it's a half a second.
Well, watch Calipari on
Well,
the
that's the
sideline
thing.
yelling at him, score the basket.
Here's the thing. If you show this again, watch the top of your screen if you're watching.
the
John
storage
Calipari,
table.
watch his leg. He's like, oh. The guy pulls it back. He's like, no. Score. Calipari wanted to cover that game.
Basically, John Calipari puts his foot up, and his foot up is like, oh, okay, cool, we covered. And then when the player puts the ball down and doesn't go up, then he starts to point like, no, score. And then when he goes up to score, it's too late. So they don't cover the spread. How shocked are you that this coach is John Calipari with everything that he's gone on in his career? I'm not very shocked that John Calipari be in a situation to look like he wanted his player to cover that spread.
So here's the deal. Knowing what you know about John Calipari now, man, you just got to take Kentucky every game the rest of the year now. Because they will always try to cover the spread.
Yeah, that's real.
That was a learning moment for the Kentucky Wildcats.
I don't know if they'll always want to
NCAA
cover. Right?
They
don't know.
Kentucky basketball fans bet on Kentucky to cover every game.
Every game.
And John Calipari, you know who's going to yell at John Calipari?
The boosters.
The boosters for not covering that game, because those Kentucky fans are crazed fans.
Yeah, they're rabid.
It's just like Michigan fans. Michigan fans bet on Michigan every game. You always hear about that Michigan money that's coming in
late.
In late. Michigan's got the only reason that the Michigan was a touchdown underdog and not a 14-point underdog is to Georgia was because all that Michigan money coming in late. I'm telling you, watch out for the Kentucky Wildcats moving forward, because John Calipari is going to ensure.
Is he in trouble?
I don't know. I don't think he's in trouble.
He's not.
Because
he's not in trouble?
No.
But it makes one wonder. Like, if I'm the NCAA, which technically has no power anymore, but they still have some power to certain things like this. If I'm watching this game and I see him that upset about them not covering the spread, I also know that John Calipari has had things that happen in the past that relate to dirty basketball, all types of scandals.
You're not wrong.
This is something that you got to look at. Like, it's John Calipari, like UMass situation.
I wish I was at the Vegas sports book last night during that game just to see what it was like, because there are people that put
tons.
Way too much money.
Some people can own it and some people don't have it.
Yes. Can you imagine? I can't. I can't even finish the sentence.
And that's why I said, does somebody get involved at some point and start paying a closer attention and watching? Because
you know who does it? Some
jerk
casino.
That's how Vegas always has the line right.
Gets a hold of some casino host, I don't know. Don't you ever do that again.
Yeah, that's real.
Don't you ever do that again. If you have an opportunity to play the game out, play it out. I mean, the appearance this gives is horrific. Where the players know the lines. We all know the players know the lines, or at least a lot of them do. I mean, Braylon, when you played, did you ever look at the number?
No. First time I ever looked at a number was like when I started working at Woodward Sports.
And I believe that because, no offense, but
I'm dumb as hell when it comes to betting.
Hey, Braylon, congratulations.
I really don't know anything.
Congratulations on that.
I appreciate that.
I mean, that is awesome.
Thank you.
And I wish they were more like you. But I think at the very least, this is a terrible look. The optics of it are brutal. And especially, not only that, but like Calipari on the sidelines being like, no. Score.
He gave too much away on that. And it goes back to when we talked about AB. Like, we were having conversations about AB, and it was like, sometimes you can't believe AB, or you don't take his side because of what? Because of his past. Because of his checker pass and things he's already done. If this would have been another coach, like if this was, I'll just use, I don't know, Tom Izzo, Juwan Howard, insert a coach here. If it's Tom Izzo, I'm like not making too much about it. If that's Juwan Howard, I'm like, oh, man.
I don't even think they're looking.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. I wouldn't make any bones about it.
They're ready to handshake.
But the fact
Calipari watched to the very last second.
The fact that it's Calipari, it makes you say,
Did you guys ever see the Netflix documentary Bad Sport?
100%. Arizona State.
Point shaving.
Elder, before you go into the point shaving skill, how good of a basketball player was he to be able to do that? Mm-hmm. Like, that's what doesn't get talked about. He was so good to be able to do that.
You have to fill everybody in.
So, Bad Sport is a documentary series on Netflix which features a number of different scandals throughout sports. Yeah. This one was Arizona State point shaving in basketball.
93.
Early 90s point shaving scandal in basketball. where a bookmaker got a hold of one of the players and said, "We'll give you 10 grand."
His friend was friends with the player,
Yes.
and the friend reached out to the guy and said, I got a situation for you where we can make some money.
Exactly. So offered him 10 grand, and he said, "We're not going to ask you to lose the game. You can win the game, just don't win by more than 5."
Yep.
And so the guy's like, "That's all I got to do?" Okay. I mean, he's a broke college kid.
Yeah.
Put 10 grand in. You're not asking him to lose the game. You're just asking him not win by as much. And so the whole thing happened, ruined his life because he
ruined his boy's life too.
Ruined his boy's life, and once they sink their teeth into you, man, there is no getting out. And when
they own you,
they own you. And when you it's obvious what the player is now. What you see, what's happening. I mean, dude's missing free throws like I would miss a free throw.
Some guy wrote who wrote about Marquette last night. Steve Brown.
Man,
I lost Marquette.
Special.
He had 7 plus 7 last night. They missed free throws at the end of the game. Do you think he missed on purpose? You can ask that about every single game.
That now becomes the question about anything that you see. Like I'm telling you, obviously I definitely don't believe in Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes as it relates to any type of negligence or cheating in a scandal type. Not at all do I. But when you go back and you look, why did they play this defense against the Ravens? Why did they play this defense against Minnesota? Things that you can even answer with logical questions now, you have to take into consideration.
At the pro level,
yeah,
I'd be hard-pressed to find many examples of it because there's just too
Tim
much
Donaghy.
money. Well, that's a referee.
Tanking?
Like, what do you think referees have been doing for the past 100 years?
I understand,
Cheating.
but I'm just saying for an NFL or an NBA or the NBA players make too much money to be having shaving points.
Right.
Nobody's shaving
unless
points.
one of them is a bad gambler and needs the money.
So
you don't know.
Evander Kane's allegation.
The NHL.
Evander Kane for the San Jose Sharks.
You
the
just don't know,
allegation,
man.
which he was cleared of, by the way.
He was cleared.
NHL.
He was cleared of not betting on himself.
Yes.
He wasn't cleared of losing $2.5 million.
Sure, but there's a big difference.
Oh, very true.
I got news for you.
Yeah.
If you're betting for yourself, you're betting against yourself too. This just in.
This is true.
Okay.
Because how
Pete Rose,
many
as
friends?
much as I like him, he bet both ways.
Evander Kane, how many friends does he have throughout the NHL? How many random questions is he asking just to know the lines to make bets? Who's hurting, this, that, and the third, and what's going on behind the scenes? It translates, is what Maz is saying, and he's 100% true.
Gamblers are gamblers. They're going to look, they'll bet if it's sunny tomorrow, or they'll bet if it's -5 tomorrow.
Sun or clouds.
Exactly.
-110.
Partly cloudy, +120. Listen, man. My dad, I want you to picture me, okay? Look, guys, I'm going to be 60 next week, okay?
What?
60.
You?
Picture me as a young kid. My dad has been talking to me since I was 8 years old, screaming at me. That's 52 years of yelling, the games are fixed. The games are fixed. I never believed him when I was a real kid until the Immaculate Reception happened, and then I started believing when all the color ran out of his body when the Steelers won that game. This gambling, man, there's cheating, okay? If there's gambling, there's cheating. It's just a matter of who you're going to catch.
Who won in 1990, Maz?
1990?
42-1.
Buster Douglas.
I'm saying, who won the bet that night? Was it Don King?
Yeah.
Because I still remember that count.
Yeah.
It took him to 12 to get to 10.
Remember he was trying to find his mouthpiece.
But he still got up.
I watched that live when they said Buster Douglas's mom died. I said he's winning.
Wow.
Remember
that's a great 30 for 30, by the way.
That's one of the best. That's one of the best ones. Period.
So a little nugget about that. My dad took us to the following week. WWF at the time, WWE, WWF was at Joe Louis or somewhere like Joe Louis it was, and I don't know if it was Survivor Series or one. There was something at the Joe Louis Arena pay-per-view event.
Okay.
Mike Tyson was supposed to be the guest referee
for
the segment.
Not after that loss.
And out comes Buster Douglas to be the guest referee. And we were going nuts.
Oh, y'all went nuts?
Oh, yeah.
I've been booing.
We were going
You know,
nuts.
I like Buster Douglas.
Yeah, he was great.
My God, he could have been good.
Yeah.
He won one fight and then he lost 10.
Gave himself out of the league.
Yep. I mean, come on, man.
Or
he was like,
out of boxing, but
what a
figurative
perfect,
speech. Hey, guys, we got to get to a break. When we come back, 10 quick ones. This or that. Get a little insight into how we
Send some
think.
in.
Send some in as well. Send your own questions.
Yeah.
10 quick ones. Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line. And that doesn't mean what you think it does. Get
Buster
your
and
minds
Tyson.
out together.
I'm Kay Cunningham. I'm proud to partner with Hall Financial, the mortgage company known for 5-star service. Don't just take my word for it. Check out their 5,000 5-star reviews for yourself. Go to callhallfirst.com and get started with your 5-star experience today.
An event, 10 years in the making. Sunday, February 13th, Woodward Sports, Gypsy Vodka, and Syntron present the Stafford Bowl.
Hurry up!
Live broadcast at the Brass Rail in Detroit.
Hey, keep stacking these drives now. Keep stacking these drives. Gotta have good ones every time we touch the ball.
Come out with all of your friends for our pregame and stay for the watch party.
Big drive right here, all right? We gotta keep pouring it on. Good fundamentals. Let's punch another one in, all right? Big drive. Let's go.
The entire Woodward staff will be at the Brass Rail as Matthew Stafford and the Rams take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Come experience the Stafford Bowl on massive big screens, drinks, pizza, and DJs. One day, the Lions will make it there. Until then, we have Matthew Stafford and the Stafford Bowl.
Let's go! That's unbelievable! That's unbelievable, and you know it. You know it is, though.
See you Sunday at the Brass Rail with Woodward Sports.
That's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And so is Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Unbelievable. Fellas, it's game day. You want to get your haircuts ready? Absolutely. You want to look good on Super Bowl Sunday. All you got to do, you walk in, you sign in, you sit down. Before you know it, you are handsome and clean. Ooh, football is here. Wicked awesomeness is here as well. Several locations throughout the Metro Detroit area. Also several locations throughout the country in over 20 states in our union. That's right. Look for Lady Jane's nearest you today. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome. Wicked awesome.
I love that we're
so
on the same
guys,
page right now.
we're going to do a little, whichever way the pen spins, that's who's going to be first.
Hey, here's a suggestion. Tell me what you guys think about the suggestion. When you go, you just go and get everybody out the way at the same time. So when I go, let's say I start with Maz. When I finish my last question to him is my first question to you, and I'm gonna go in the opposite way.
You just tell me what to do. Braylon, just tell me when to go.
This pen don't spin. You do it.
I'll just go first.
Okay, you go first.
I'll go first. 10 quick ones. I actually think I need.
Give me a different beat than this. This music.
Who are you asking?
7, 8,
Please.
9, 10. You.
All right.
All right. You ready?
10 quickies.
All right. No pause on that one, man.
Pause.
Sometimes you can't control who you are in life. Chase or Cup?
Cup.
All right. Eli or Peyton in Super Bowls?
Eli.
Ooh, that was a good one. Cam Akers or Evan McPherson as the X Factor?
I like Cam.
Okay. Mike Hart or Sherrone Moore?
Sherrone Moore.
Oh, okay. Smart man. Wings and pizza or brats and chips?
Wings and pizza.
There we go. David Tyree or Mario Manningham?
Mario Manningham.
Woo! That was a hell of a catch. All right, now this one is an interesting one.
Can I call a tie on that one?
Nope.
Oh, shucks.
You can't.
Love them both.
You can't. Brady over Falcons 2018 Super Bowl or Raiders over Eagles 1980 Super Bowl?
Well, I love that Raiders
Because
Super
you know
Bowl.
why, though? That was when both teams were added with the commissioner.
That's right. Raiders, he hated
Pete Rozelle.
He hated to hand Pete Rozelle that trophy. Al Davis.
Yeah.
Al Davis got it from Pete Rozelle.
And guess who hated to hand Brady that trophy?
Oh, yeah.
Roger
Goodell. That Raiders team was a wild card team, by the way.
First,
a true blue
first
wild card
ever.
team. Yep.
All
My
right.
dad and I won some coin
Who
on
you
that
going
team.
with? 10 quick ones, not 10 long ones.
Sorry. I took the Raiders.
All right, Stafford or McVay? Who's under more pressure?
Oh, McVay.
Chuck Daly or Scotty Bowman?
Scotty.
Don Shane or Eli Zarek?
Scotty.
Ooh.
Don Shane. Sorry. I got mixed up.
Don Shane, Eli Zarek?
Eli.
Ooh, that's a good one. Chuck Daly, Scotty Bowman?
Chuck Daly.
Stafford or McVay under more pressure?
I think McVay.
I believe so, too. 2018 Brady or 1980 Raiders?
Brady.
That was a good one. David Tyree Manningham?
Tyree. It all started with that David Tyree catch literally
Yeah.
was the Super Bowl defining play of all time.
It's a great way to look at it. It's a great way to look at it. Wings and pizza or brats and chips?
Wings and pizza.
Yeah. Cam Akers or Evan McPherson as the X Factor in the Super Bowl?
Cam.
Eli or Peyton in Super Bowls?
I think you gotta go Eli.
Gotta go Eli. Gotta go Eli.
Gotta go Eli.
Chase or Cup?
Oh, Chase.
Reason why I took Evan McPherson has 56 points. It's the most going into a Super Bowl ever in the history of Super Bowl games.
He's a stud kicker.
He's a stud, man. They drafted him this year. They've stood by him, and he's got them to the Super Bowl. I'm going with Evan McPherson. I think he's going to be MVP of the game.
There you go.
How about that?
I think he's going to be, which tells you who I think is going to win.
Maz, you want to go?
Sure. I'm asking you, I guess, right? We're
Sure.
going round robin?
Sure.
All right. Hostess cake. You like Hostess cake,
Yeah.
right? Everyone likes it. Chocolate cupcakes or the orange cupcakes?
Chocolate.
Oh,
Isn't that good?
man. You got my,
Iced tea or lemonade?
Lemonade.
Lemonade.
that cool, refreshing drink.
Comerica Park or Tiger Stadium?
Come on, don't be ridiculous. Insult me
Trumbull.
with the question. Tiger Stadium.
JLA or LCA?
Joe Louis.
Silverdome or Ford Field?
Silverdome.
Olympics or a rerun of Mr. Ed?
Rerun of Mr. Ed.
A horse is a horse. Of course.
Calvin Johnson or Cooper Cup?
That is so funny that you said that.
That's on yours?
It's close. I'll go Calvin just because he's Detroit, but Cooper Cup is so recent. It's
He
Calvin.
had 1 year.
Calvin Johnson's a Hall of freaking Famer. Calvin Johnson.
Yeah, talk to me when he's done it a couple times.
Pancakes or French toast?
Pancakes.
Super Bowl party or watch the Super Bowl at home?
Watch it at home.
And finally, because it's Pizza Day, National Pizza Day, cheese pizza or toppings on your pizza?
Cheese.
Cheese only?
Cheese only.
Okay, good boy.
Yeah.
All right, Braylon?
That's what a real
Right
pie
back at
is.
you.
That's what a real pie is.
That's right. That's what a pie is. Thank you.
That's what it is.
You like your pie plain cheese or you like it with toppings, Braylon?
But
You got to have one.
I'm going toppings.
All right.
Because I get the same toppings every time.
What do you get?
Banana peppers, pineapples, and pepperoni.
Pineapple.
Pineapple.
So like an adjusted Hawaiian.
That's not bad.
Pineapples,
That ain't
banana
bad.
peppers,
Oh my
and
God.
pepperoni.
I love banana peppers. That's good. All right, Super Bowl party or stay home and watch the Super Bowl with Stan.
Ah, yeah. That's the party song for house party. I'm a party guy.
You and Tom T?
Hey, man, me and Tom T and a couple others, man, we'll set it off, man.
Pancakes or French
So
toast?
funny.
French toast.
Calvin or Cooper?
Calvin.
Olympics or a rerun of Mr. Ed?
Olympics.
Silverdome or Ford Field?
Silverdome.
Joe Louis or LCA?
LCA.
Tiger Stadium, Comerica Park?
Tiger Stadium.
Lemonade or iced tea?
Lemonade.
Orange cupcake by Hostess
Orange
or a
cupcake.
chocolate
As soon
cupcake?
as you said that,
Oh,
the inner fat kid
so
in me
good.
jumped out and was like, I wish you would
Is
say
that so
chocolate
good?
cupcake. Oh, my God. They only sell them at, like parts of the year.
Now, you know my dad was a Hostess cake salesman
You did tell
for
me that.
30 plus years. So
Man.
orange cupcakes was always one of my
Say
favorites.
you ate a couple of those.
I ate a few. Twinkie the Kid, they called
Remember when they would have those
Twinkie the Kid.
Remember randomly they would have the white ones with the baseball
it. Oh,
sprinkles
yeah.
on them?
You
Like,
got it.
oh,
Those were
man.
the snowballs. Those were the coconut-covered snowballs.
Don't get me in trouble right now.
I
man.
can go
I'm on a-
Hostess
I'm on a
cake with
diet.
anybody all day.
Oh man, it's on you, man.
All right, I'm up.
Yeah.
Who do I
You're
go
asking
to
Braylon.
now? I'm asking Braylon.
Okay, it's on me.
Detroit Free Press or Detroit News?
Detroit News.
Netflix or cable TV?
Netflix.
Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook?
Instagram. I'm becoming a Twitter guy though, but I'm still Instagram.
Coke or Pepsi?
Coke.
Little Caesars or any other chain pizza?
Any other chain pizza.
Cash or credit card?
Credit card.
Winter Olympics or Summer Olympics?
Summer.
Calvin or Barry?
Barry.
Hulk Hogan or Randy Savage?
It's so funny because Macho Man Randy said, "Oh yeah, let me tell you something." Dino Santana, what is it? Pontiac Silverdome, 1987.
Yeah.
Ooh, dang it! Come on, man. A cup of coffee in the big time. I'm a macho guy, man.
Chest or butt?
You mean Buster Boobs?
Yeah, Buster Boobs.
Well,
Butts or boobs?
if we're gonna get canceled, we're going down with a fight. I, my friend, am a top guy.
Maz, top or bottom?
Don't answer, Maz. Don't answer. Don't answer. I set you up.
Boobs.
Okay. Barry
Oh,
or
my God.
Calvin?
Barry.
Winter Olympics, Summer Olympics.
Summer.
Cash or credit card?
Oh, credit card. What's cash?
Man, it's not legal tender. That's what it is.
Little Caesars or any other chain pizza?
And I had Little Caesars last night.
In the field. Coke or Pepsi?
Coke.
Twitter.
Pepsi at Comerica Park. Great pour.
Twitter,
at Comerica
Instagram,
Park.
or Facebook?
Twitter. I'm a Twitter hound.
Netflix or cable TV?
Cable.
Free Press or Detroit News?
Free.
Those are good questions, I think.
good.
What is Juice's ghost? We got some over here. Pepperoni, sausage, or mushroom? Anybody?
Pepperoni.
Juice's ghost says Maz is definitely a bottom. Hey, you didn't ask me about Randy Savage.
Oh, yeah, Randy Savage or Hulk Hogan?
The Hulkster, baby.
Oh, man.
But you don't count me. I'm not a wrestling
Just
guy.
a punk, though, man.
So
like,
funny.
like, when you
You and Braylon, man. It's like when you ask him that, it's like he's like a kid.
Oh, yeah. Nigga. Oh, my gosh.
The Hulk, man. It was,
That was fun,
you know what's
guys.
up, Mean Gene?
Oh, my gosh.
That's all I used to do as a kid, man. Like, you get somewhere, but... All right, we got to get to a break,
Gotta
right?
get to a break. Rod Beard, Detroit News, Pistons writer when we
I
come
know
back.
Rod is looking at us like, what the hell is
10
going
quick
on?
ones with Rod when we come back.
Ermanni and Edwards, Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
It took exploring 50 different formulas and hosting countless taste tests, but we believe Gypsy Vodka is the smoothest vodka on the market. Don't believe us? Ask the owners.
We're Mike and Adam Kazanowski with High Five Spirits Distillery. We're in close to about 1,200 locations throughout Michigan. We wanted to create a brand that was geared more towards freedom, love, adventure, and at the end of the day, we really wanted to tell a story that inspired other people to take risks, follow their dreams, whatever that might be.
Big names, bigger opinions. It's the bottom line on Woodward Sports.
Hey, gang. Top of hour number 2. Thanks so much for tuning in to Woodward Sports Network. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, Tom Mazawey. We got Alex Mayer and Sam Reynolds over here helping us out as well. 111 likes through the first hour of the program. Let's jump it up. Let's get to 125 at the end of this segment. Absolutely. If you're watching on YouTube, thanks so much. Absolutely. Please do so. Smash that like button and subscribe on YouTube as well. Just a little less than 300 subscribers shy of 20,000.
Get this thing rocking.
Pretty darn good for us in the infant stages of this new network. So we certainly appreciate you guys helping us along with this. Let's bring him in. Rod Beard, Pistons writer, Detroit News. One of the favorites of the show, the great Rod Beard. How you doing, Rod?
Hey, Rod.
We are having trouble hearing you a little bit.
We don't hear you.
We don't hear you.
Unmute yourself.
There we go.
Oh, yeah, Ryan. Let's go.
Yeah.
This is a Macho Man Randy Savage.
There we go.
Dig it.
That is absolutely my guy.
Right, I saw you smiling when we came in. In my head, I didn't say that. I said, "Oh, I know he's smiling because of that Macho and Hulk stuff." I knew you were.
Yeah, I mean, outside of Ric Flair, it is the Macho Man Randy Savage, and no Ricky Steamboat whatsoever.
Now, Rod, did you ever see the A&E docuseries on? It was less than a year ago. They had 8 profiles of old-time WWE wrestlers. It was every Sunday night they were doing it. They did a profile on Randy Savage.
They did
Incredible.
Randy. They did Randy. They did Booker T. They did Hulk Hogan.
Ultimate
Warrior. They did Bret the Hitman Hart. They did Shawn Michaels, Goldberg, and there was one more.
It was great, man. You got to check that out.
I need the Road Warriors to be added to it.
I think there's a 30 for 30 coming up on the Road Warriors, by the way.
There, you also can watch those behind the what are they called? They're called Dark Side of the Ring.
Yeah,
they're on A&E. You can find them on Prime. I'm invested, man. Let's talk about the Pistons because you're gonna have me all day talking about
sidebar
WWE.
on A&E. I started the Hugh Hefner Playboy series last night.
Any good?
Shocking.
I'm
shocking, man.
Oh, man.
Surprised you're still here.
There's a lot more.
What did he say? Did he say top or bottom?
I
think he said
I said top.
I didn't let him answer that
but
question.
I like bottom too.
Well, never mind. Cat's out the bag.
That's so on brand.
It is. How about you, Rod? Never mind.
Don't answer that, Rod.
Wings. We'll go with wings.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Breast or wings?
Yeah, that's
Wings.
fantastic. Rod, let's get to it. Detroit Pistons.
Just another day at Woodward Sports, baby.
What is the latest with Jeremy Grant, Rod? Is he going to get moved? Are the Pistons just content to sit this one out, let him be on the team, and then figure it out come draft day?
I think it's just they'll wait and see, and it depends on the offer. That they're in no rush. They don't have to do anything at this point because they still have him under contract, a reasonable contract, and then they can talk extension next year or, whatever. So it's not that it's an expiring contract, and if they don't do anything right here at the deadline, then they lose him. This is very much a make us an offer that we like, and then we'll sit and talk about it. But there's definitely nothing that says they have to do something by tomorrow.
So this is interesting because I saw earlier today, and I know the sample size isn't all that great, but since Jeremy Grant has come back, Saddiq Bey has just his shooting is 32%. He's shooting from the field. He's just looks totally out of sync. For the Pistons organization, what is more important to help aid in the development of Saddiq Bey, or kind of make Jeremy Grant a focal point of the offense to show people that he still can provide any contender out there an opportunity to, take that next step?
Well, I think it's both. I think they realized that Saddiq Bey kind of flourished, and Hamidou Diallo also flourished in that opportunity with Grant and Kelly Olynyk out. The problem with that is that Saddiq just doesn't have that longevity there where he can do that consistently over 82 games. And with Cade and with the injuries and everything else, you just don't have a good feel for what this team is, either with Grant, without Grant, with Cade, with all of those guys together. The sample size that all of them have played in the same game and played significant minutes is so small that it's hard to really tell anything. But I think at the same time, you want to get the max value that you can for Grant, and you just don't want to accept something else. And now looking at what these other deals have done, the Karis LeVert deal, the CJ McCollum deal, and the Sabonis deal, it's setting the market a little bit differently that, hey, we may be able to get a couple of picks and a young guy instead of maybe a young guy and a pick in salary filler, which is what the reports have been that they can get from this. So I think it's just gauging the market, seeing what the best offer is, and then trying to make a decision about whether you need to pull the trigger on that now or you can wait until the offseason to do it.
Talking to man Rod Savage, a.k.a. Rod Berry, Detroit Pistons. Rod, let me ask you a question. Let me stay away from the players right now. Let me get to the coach, Dwayne Casey. Dwayne Casey right now is 64 years old. He's the second oldest coach in the NBA. How long can he do this where you're trying to piece together this team through injury, through hurt, through trying to figure the chemistry, we've talked about this, and let me start over. We've talked about the chemistry because guys have been hurt, so they haven't been able to get on the court. Like you said, the sample size is so small. But even with that, are these the right guys for the job? When do we get Kelly Olynyk back? And et cetera, et cetera. Can Dwayne Casey hold up at 64 and just trying to piece this thing together forever? Or do you use a situation where you maybe move him up in the front office and you get somebody younger? I don't know. I'm just asking you.
Yeah, I think that's the plan eventually, is that he's going to move into the front office in some kind of advisory role or something else that kind of suits him at the time. But again, you got to look at all of these assistant coaches that they lost last year. They have a whole new crop of assistant coaches, and the development team is still there. So you can see that Isaiah Stewart has taken a step forward. Saddiq Bey definitely taken a step forward. We're starting to see more of those flashes from Killian Hayes. So I think Dwayne and his staff is the right fit. It's just, can you get consistency? How much of this year do you take into account, and how much of the season do you just throw away and say, hey, they just weren't healthy at all? Whether it's Cade or Jeremy or any of these guys aren't healthy, you can't really make a clear assessment of what this team is because of that, and because you were missing Kelly Olynyk for much of the season. And it's just hard to look at the record and say, oh, well, this record is Dwayne Casey's fault. We're going to throw this at his feet, or we're going to throw this at Weaver's feet. You can't really do that because you haven't been healthy enough to make a good assessment of what these guys are or are not. It's just a little flash here and a little flash there. But what does this look like stretched out over an 82-game season? You can't really make a fair comparison with what you've seen so far.
On to some positivity. You talk about Cade Cunningham. Rookie Player of the Year in the month of January. He obviously made the Rising Stars Challenge, but along with Sadiq Bey at the NBA All-Star Game that happens in another week and a half from now. How happy are you with Cade's play this year? It seems like now that he's got it going, you see on offense he can score points when he wants to. He can lead. He can he can defend, and it looks like we've got more in him than we thought we were going to get last June.
Yeah, I think there's more that's there, that the playmaking is now there, and they kind of got away from that. We're going to play Killian Hayes and Cade at the same time and just said, hey, let's get another scorer in there, whether it's Hamidou, and he does a lot with his cutting, or we just need another jump shooter, and we've got to figure this out. Cade has grown into that facilitator role, and they didn't want to rush him early in the year by just putting the ball in his hand right when he got healthy. So that's kind of worked out. But just his vision, his ability to take over games, that's only going to grow. His ability to take contact and get to the free throw line is going to grow too. We've seen the three-point accuracy. All of those things come just as advertised. And then just the leadership is there. There hasn't been anything that we've been told that Cade Cunningham is that we haven't seen just yet and been really impressed by it. At least I haven't. So I think it's just, what do you add to it? Do you get a Paolo Banchero? Do you get a Jabari Smith? Do you get another good piece to add in this year's draft and then in free agency, and then whatever the trade market might have? This could be a much different team when you look at the beginning of next season as we see right now.
Our friend Rod Beard joins us, Detroit News, Pistons beat. Rod, the word on the street is the Pacers turned down a trade from the Pistons. You hear all kinds of stuff at this time of the year. Tomorrow will be NBA trade deadline. Couldn't we have gotten with the Kings and swapped Killian Hayes for Tyrese Halliburton, because that's the way it should have been to begin with? Couldn't we have done something like that?
No, I think there's so much value on Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah.
And again, I liked Halliburton. I thought he would be the pick, but they went for kind of the build and the defensive guy and the development that Killian Hayes could turn into. It hasn't been that just yet, obviously, but Halliburton to get traded this early is just a shocker. But it's the Kings. The Kings are going Kings at some point every couple of seasons, and it's just so shocking to see that they went and pushed that many chips in the middle of the table for Sabonis, but they needed a star to go along with their kind of young roster, and they think they can do something, but I just got to see it. I got to see that they're actually going to do something with another all-star that's on that roster.
Is there a market right now for Zion Williamson?
Absolutely.
Love that chicken from Popeyes. Oh, my bad.
I mean, he's got so many other. He's got so many other New Orleans delicacies that he's been chomping on. But yeah, I think people see that he can be an all-star caliber player in the right situation. There is a market. It just may not be as robust as it will be in the offseason or maybe into next year.
Yeah, for me, as it relates to Zion Williamson, I know I crack jokes, but I think when you go to a place that you don't want to be in the first place, like, nobody took into consideration if you wanted to be there. Now, I get that it's not up to where you want to be. It's up to playing ball. You get hurt in a situation you don't already want to be in, it's a little easier to kind of delay that process and then turn into something that you no longer can control. So I hope he gets that under control, because he's a hell of a talent and a hell of a player. What are you looking forward to, Rod? Yeah, like right as we get into All-Star break, I think next week is All-Star break. As we get into All-Star break, what are you looking forward to the Pistons trying to accomplish? Maybe it's tomorrow or maybe it's next week. What are you looking for them to kind of try to accomplish?
I just want to see what trades they might be able to make and what pieces they can add. I mean, the Mitchell Robinson stuff with the Knicks has been tossed around. If they can do that, that changes the whole landscape of everything. And the timeline that we're looking at for them automatically gets pushed up. If they can add a rim protector, a rim running presence like that, an athletic guy, a big that fills a big need in their roster, if they can do something like that, I think it changes the calculus of what we're talking about their contending timeline to be. But I just need them to show a little bit more, and not these 30-point losses that they've had. These games they've come back and been strong and been there in the third and fourth quarter. I need to see more of those sorts of things where they just don't have ridiculous turnovers and they're just out of the game by mid-third quarter. I want to see a level of competitiveness, and I want to see more of Cade Cunningham and Killian Hayes with that second group. I want to see what's there. If they still believe that he can be a factor, show me that he can do that with the second group, because now they've got some other pieces that can help him be a little bit more productive.
Yeah, that seems to be the pulse up here at Woodward Sports Network. You got Easy, you got Spencer, you got Alex floating around talking about rim protector. Mitchell Robinson's name definitely came up because you look at it, I think the Pistons have given up over 100 points in their last 12 contests. So I think that's what the pulse is here is Mitchell Robinson would be a good addition, Maz.
Hey, Rod, just go to Brooklyn for me for a minute if you have to. What the hell happened over there? I mean, is Kyrie, did he just blow this team up? Because they were down 28-2 yesterday. 28-2.
Well, I've said before, they just want to fast forward to the playoffs. All of this other stuff is just a horse and pony show for them. They don't want to play the regular season. Get us to the playoffs where all of this stuff matters, but these dog days right before the All-Star break and right after don't matter to them. And they've got to realize if they slide down and they get in the 6, 7, 8 spot or in a play-in game, that's insane for them to have to go through the gauntlet they will have to go through. Can you see them in a first-round series with Milwaukee or Chicago or Miami? That would be insane for the amount of effort and resources that they put into improving that roster to be an 8 seed and have to go through the gauntlet. I just don't see that for them. But, I mean, this is what you get. And this is what with Kyrie and with Harden and everything that goes along with that. We said they needed to avoid injuries. And what do they get? Durant is going to be out for an extended period. So, I mean, this is a worst-case scenario for them, very much like last year, is that injuries come up at a very bad time. But if they could piece this together right before the playoffs, all is kind of forgiven. If they get the 3rd, 4th seed, then whatever, they can make their way through that. But as the 8th seed, that's too many big teams that they've got to get through. The Phillies, other teams that are at the top of the East, they don't want to have to do that in the first round.
They don't want to. And bringing up Philly, Ben Simmons, what's happening with him and what's happening with James Harden? Does he want to get out? Can they get rid of him? Is it worth getting rid of him?
I don't think so. I think their better road is to look at what Harden can bring them because he's going to be the scorer. He's going to be more consistent. Simmons hasn't played all year. So unless he's been in immaculate shape and just been in the gym every day, just what do you do with that? And he's not a scorer or a shooter. He's going to have to do all of the other stuff for them. They do need a good defender, and that's the good piece that he does bring to them. But, I mean, what condition is he in? Is he going to be a different piece for them in a playoff run than he's been in the past? That's a team that has a lot of pieces there. I don't know if he's the right. I'm not a big Ben Simmons guy. Maybe it's just me.
No, I'm not either, Rod.
I don't see where he makes you a championship caliber team or pushes you over the top where James Harden can take over a game by himself. And we've seen that. You need multiple guys. When your other guys are off, you need multiple options. And I think that's what they traded for. That's what they thought they were going to get. And Harden's not the problem. I think it's more Kyrie that's caused them a lot of the consternation that they've had this season.
Kyrie definitely has caused them a lot of what that last word you used. He's caused them a lot of that. But at the same time, you saw with the governor mandate is possibly coming down as soon as the end of this week. They will now allow Kyrie to play in New York because they're changing the mandates on vaccinated players.
They will allow him or won't?
They're saying the mandate can come down and change it to where he can't play.
Yeah, they got rid of the mask mandate. The vaccine mandate is next. So by the time the playoffs start, there's probably going to be no vaccine mandate. So they're just trying to get to the playoffs.
But to Rod's credit, the way he's talking about, you don't want to be that 8th seed when you get to the playoffs.
The NBA don't want to see that either.
Yeah,
NBA, that's a nightmare for the NBA.
Hey, Rod, last thing I'll ask you, last thing before we let you go, and thanks for being so gracious with your time.
And pulling over.
You do this most days, if not every day. It's the Pistons draft lottery situation. Yeah. If they do get number 1, who do you think they'd take today?
Today, I'm going to say Jabari Smith. I'm not going to say I'm not a big Chet believer either. Yeah, Jabari Smith from Auburn, because he's a big guy, but big guys like that, you got to worry about their knees, you got to worry about their feet, and this is the same thing we saw with Bol, that he had a foot issue. That most 7-foot guys like that, unless they're taking care of their bodies from their teenage years on up, they're going to have foot problems. They're going to have knee problems. You need a sturdy young guy who can kind of come in and just be immediately impactful. Chet just feels very much like Sean Bradley to me, with a more skilled Sean Bradley, obviously. But the way that he moves, I'm just not a big believer in that right now. So I say Jabari Smith or Paolo Banchero are the first two that I have in my list.
I love Paolo Banchero. I mean, he's just...
You just love his name.
No, dude, watch him play. He is so smooth and so NBA ready right now. That dude could probably drop 12, 15 points in the NBA on average right now. He's so smooth. Rob, go ahead. Yep. Rob, thanks so much, my friend.
Say book it.
Yep.
All right, appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
I love that guy. And I love this guy, Rod Beard.
Man,
follow him on Twitter at Det News. Rod Beard. Pistons writer for the Detroit News. Always gracious with his time. Great stuff there. I'm way over, though.
I was going to ask him about the Super Bowl and Barry Sanders and all of that kind of stuff.
Got to get to a break. Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
Here at Woodward Sports, we're always up for a good cause and a good time. This year, we present the 2022 Cupizandi Run. Yeah, you heard right. Time to get in our underwear and run the streets of Detroit. For the last 12 years, we've stripped down, ran in the cold, and partied to raise money to help fund research to end NF. February 12th, join the staff from Woodward Sports and hundreds of other beautiful people downtown at the Tin Roof. You can register as an individual or your team today at woodwardsports.com. So start doing those squats, sit-ups, or just some 12-ounce curls. And get ready for Cupid's Undie Run 2022. Sponsored by the awesome people at Gypsy Vodka, Centron, and Planet Fitness. We'll see you February 12th at the Tin Roof. In our underwear. Thank you to Chili Peppers Tanning.
Gotta go to mybookie.ag and get in on it, especially if you're a first-time sports gambler. Hey, we just told you about that Kentucky game. If you had Kentucky minus 10, well, you would have broke even. If you had a minus 9, you would have won. And how about the Super Bowl? Super Bowl 56, the Bengals, a 4-point underdog. The LA Rams at home, the favorite. And the best way you can get going is use that promo code Woodward, because whatever you put in up to $1,000, my bookie's going to double it for you. So if you want to put $500 on the game, you can make it $1,000 because they're going to match your $500 all the way up to $1,000. Just use the promo code Woodward. Who's going to win the coin toss? Heads or tails? White jerseys or black jerseys? You can bet it all. Parlays, any way you want to do it. Teasers, straight up. It's at mybookie.ag. The promo code is Woodward. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere at MyBookie. If you have a gambling problem, please call the Michigan Gambling Problem Hotline, 1-800-270-7117.
Week for Gypsy Vodka. Talk about Gypsy Vodka. You talk about the Woodward Sports Undie Run is on Saturday, and you know there's going to be some Gypsy Vodka in the building or in the air on Saturday. Not to mention turning right back around on Sunday with the Stafford Bowl at the Brass Rail, sponsored by Gypsy, both of those events, as well as Centron. This is going to be an amazing weekend for some Gypsy Vodka. Talking about the smoothest vodka in the state of Michigan right now. Gluten-free. Also, corn distilled 6-time using artesian spring water. And look at that bottle. If you guys are eyes on us right now, you can see how cool that dope artistic design is by Adam and Mike. Michigan State guys. I guess something does come good out of East Lansing. And it's called Gypsy Vodkas. 50 formulas went into making this stuff. And it is amazing. Go down to your local neighborhood liquor store right now. Ask for Gypsy Vodka. Get yourself some for the Super Bowl on Sunday. And remember, if you're going to drink, please drink responsibly.
Woj, I want to start with two players who've garnered some trade attention. Where do talks stand around Pistons' Jeremy Grant and Blazers' C.J. McCollum?
And Malika, let's start with Jeremy Grant in Detroit. And remember, he's got another year on his contract. This is a Detroit team that is perfectly willing to wait at the draft into the offseason with Jeremy Grant. If the trade deadline were in an hour, I'm told they don't really have anything right now that they'd be ready to move on. But you know how this goes. You know, often teams will withhold, their best offers. Teams will start to lower their asking price as we get closer on Thursday.
Jeremy Grant, that's Woj bomb. No Woj bomb there, but Adrian Wojnarowski on ESPN Basketball Insider there. And as Rod Beard said, the same thing. Look, Jeremy Grant, the Pistons are perfectly okay with leaving him on the roster, letting him play.
He's 26.
The remainder of the season. Yeah. He's 26, but he doesn't fit the program moving forward. He's 26, but he doesn't seem to fit with Cade or Sadiq or any of these guys moving forward. Jerami Grant doesn't appear to be a player that's going to be on this team when the Pistons hope to be competing for championships.
Yeah, 100%. Like I talked
and
about,
I love Jerami Grant. But
Jerami Grant's a guy that can
it's a
score
puzzle piece.
Jerami Grant's a guy that can score the ball. I told you about going to the game. What I saw in person last year, they played against the Pelicans. The guy can put the ball in the hoop. He was on the Olympic team. He does have a gold medal. So definitely he can score. But to what you say, you're 100% correct. It just doesn't happen here. It just hasn't seemed to fit this season. And what happens is when you get to a spot where you feel dejected or you feel like, you know what, it's just not going to happen here. I can't get in the rhythm. I can't get in motion. And I ultimately know that they might be wanting to move me anyway. You just can't play your hardest. You can't find that rhythm because it's just gone. So I think for the Pistons' sake, they got to move Jerami Grant because I think he as a Piston, that opportunity is over.
And I just think it helps, clear some room for a guy like Sadiq Bey, who, by the way, I do believe is going to be on this team when the Pistons compete for a playoff spot or compete for, heaven forbid, a championship within the next, 3-4 years. I mean, I think that's got to be the expectation. And then that goes back to Dwayne Casey. Look, Braylon, you said it. Dwayne Casey is the second oldest coach in the National Basketball Association, only behind Greg Popovich. And, the Pistons are one of, if not the youngest team in the NBA. You wonder if there's any disconnect between messaging from coach to players. There just seems to be something off or not clicking with this basketball team right now. So we'll see.
Yeah, 100%. When we talk about Dwayne Casey being 64 years old, we're not talking about older coaches. We're not in favor of younger coaches over older coaches. You just wonder sometimes when you've coached that long, when you are 64 and you look at wanting to relax and chill and wanting players and wanting things to be where they should be to make it easier for you to coach at 64 if you don't have those thoughts to yourself, if you don't ask yourself. Like, look at Greg Popovich. Look at what do you think Pop is asking himself? Like to go from, he's still the best coach ever to me, to be the best coach ever, to have the best system ever, and then the system just slowly retires and then dissipates and just disappears. And then DeMar DeRozan is your last piece, and it goes out the window. Now you're coaching this that you don't recognize. How often does he start to look at, you know what, I've had a good run. I've had it good. Now it's time to move on. So that's the questions we're asking about Dwayne Casey. It has nothing to do with his competency.
Sure.
It's more so his quality and does he want to do it.
Basketball in this state right now is at an all-time low.
Oh, man.
All right? Nothing is going right here in Michigan and in Detroit.
State.
I mean, it's a turn-the-page
Michigan's
type of
women
year.
is about all we got right now.
Well, I'll tell you.
Michigan women are playing pretty good.
The LaBelle Blanchard Michigan Wolverines and the Chucky Atkins Detroit Pistons. That era of Detroit basketball, Michigan basketball,
that was terrible.
Pretty bad too. Just saying. Anyway, let's get to an era that was good.
Hey, John Moran will be here tomorrow.
He
Go
will
watch
be.
him.
Potential MVP of the league.
Yeah.
I mean,
Go for
Memphis
40.
is incredible. Do you think New Orleans would like a do-over and who to draft? And
there's a lot of do-overs out there.
Barry Sanders went on the Jim Rome show yesterday on Radio Row at the Super Bowl and had an interesting comment of just how many yards he thinks he could have rushed for in a 17-game season under Kyle Shanahan's offense. I want to ask, you'll hear that next, and I want to ask Braylon if there's a coach he would have liked to have played for. We'll do that next. Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line. And whatever Barry Sanders says.
Smash the like button, too, by the way. We're 6 away from 150. Sorry.
Smash the like button. I'll
Boom,
say it, but
smash!
I say the bottom line.
Here at Woodward Sports, we're always up for a good cause and a good time. This year we present the 2022 Cupid's-Undie Run. Yeah, you heard right. Time to get in our underwear and run the streets of Detroit. For the last 12 years, we've stripped down, ran in the cold, and partied to raise money to help fund research to end NF. February 12th, join the staff from Woodward Sports and hundreds of other beautiful people downtown at the Tin Roof. You can register as an individual or your team today at woodwardsports.com. So start doing those squats, sit-ups, or just some 12-ounce curls. And get ready for Cupid's Undie Run 2022. Sponsored by the awesome people at Gypsy Vodka, Cintron, and Planet Fitness. We'll see you February 12th at the Tin Roof. In our underwear. Thank you to Chili Peppers Tanning.
Hey, gang, want to tell you about Guardian Alarm. Yep, they get it. Whether it's for your home or your business, a good defense helps you feel secure. You see that black and yellow sign out in front of the house that tells the bad guys one thing.
Stay out!
That's what it tells the bad guys. Guardian Alarm, state-of-the-art technology that helps you feel safe 24/7. Local monitoring. Guardian Alarm also has convenient features that let you check in on your home or your business, control your lights, your temperatures, detect smoke, carbon monoxide, even going to let you lock and unlock your doors. All you got to do is call this number. 1-800-STAY-OUT.
Nope. I'm
That
not
number
buying
once
that.
again, 1-800-STAY-OUT. Stay out.
Stay out of here.
Guardian Alarm,
Hey, man.
your local security experts.
I almost crashed on Woodward today trying to take a picture of one of the trucks. I gave up, though.
Hey, man, you stay out of here.
I will.
Stay out, man.
Stay in the lane.
Barry Sanders is joining us, Hall of Famer. I want to ask you, there's so much talk about that Shanahan system. In fact, that's all we talk about right now, and understandably so. It's an amazing system. You ever think what you would have done in that system? Like, how many yards could you have rushed for in that system?
I think about it all the time.
Yeah, I bet.
I think
I would if I were you.
It's a great concept. The Lions played them, I don't know if the first or second game of the season, but I've been paying attention to that team ever since, Kyle Shanahan, got the coaching job there. You think about guys like Raheem Mostert and Matt Berea, and now there's a new set of guys running, and they're still one of the top rushing teams in the league. So, yes, to see what he's been able to do with the running game and just the creativity of being able, there seems to always be running lanes. So yes, as a former running back, I pay close attention to the 49ers and the way they have been able to run the ball year in and year out in today's NFL. Absolutely.
I mean, Barry, not to get crazy, but in that system, are you a 3,000-yard back in that system?
I don't. You mean in one season? No.
Yes, I mean in one season.
Well, I mean, I don't want to get silly, but I think 2,000 yards, 2,000 yards,
Except I said
wouldn't be out of the question.
No,
yeah.
I'm going to guarantee 2,000. I'm just going to bank 2,000. I want to know if
you're right. Maybe with the new expanded season, 17 games, yes, absolutely. I'll go for 3,000.
Yeah,
no,
I think maybe it's 16, and I think maybe even back in the day with 14, the way that you were able to do it with all the running lanes now.
And that audio courtesy of the Jim Rome Show on CBS Sports Radio and CBS Sports Network.
Barry didn't need lanes.
Barry did come out on Twitter and say 2,500. He could do 2,500 in Kyle Shanahan's offense.
Doing my math right now.
If he did. So, interesting.
Just let me know when you're ready.
I am ready. So, I asked Braylon to do this. This morning, I texted Braylon. I said,
What's about Barry, though?
What?
I said, I got to answer that Barry can get to 3,000.
I want, first of all, Braylon, you to tell me how many yards you think Barry could have rushed under. Yeah. And then I asked Braylon, if there was a coach or a system you could have played under, what would it be? So both answers, the floor is yours, Mr. Edwards.
Appreciate that. First of all, I took out my calculator. I've been using this since all day today.
It says 0.
Because I had to get off what was on the screen because I didn't want you to see my stuff too fast. Been using this all day. Been putting together the calculations at the bottom. You can't really see them. There's a lot of scribble, scrabble, little chicken scratch. So let's just go to Barry Sanders' 2,000-yard season. You ready for this? After the first 2 games, Barry's 2,000-yard season. So they were like watches. Guess how many yards he had?
1,600?
53 after his first 2 games.
I was going to say less than 100.
He had 53 yards after his first 2 games. He finished the season with 2,053. So he got 2,000 yards in 14 games.
Unbelievable.
2,000 yards in 14 games. Now you add 3 more games. If you would have added the math on his yards per carry and you added the extra game, Barry would have had 24-37 in that season. At 24-37 that season, and if he would have had as many carries as Derrick Henry the year that he had 2,000. So you take him to 24-37, and that's still with only 53 yards in those first 2 games. If you put him at 143 a game, which is very possible for Barry, and then in that system with Trent Williams, the way in which Kyle Shanahan run, they've had Raheem Mostert and Matt Breida and Tevin Coleman. Like Tevin Campbell's a singer. Yep. But you notice how he kind of threw shade at Matt Breida and Raheem Mostert, by the way. But with that being said, they've had a 1,000-yard running back every season. I think Barry could fall just short, but by like 2,800 yards. I think Barry could get 2,800 yards.
2,800
I think he's 2,800 yards in because he's 2,000 essentially with a less game and 53 yards in 2 games. So just give him 143 in each of those games.
First of all, isn't it good to see Barry freaking Sanders talking football?
Out and about.
Out and about. You know, he's holding the Lombardi trophy at the Super Bowl on Radio Row.
He used to hate media. He didn't want to talk.
He's out there laughing with Jim Rome. When's the last time you heard Barry Sanders laughing? And not only that, but Barry talking about running backs, talking about throwing out names like Raheem Mostert or Matt Berea or any of those other guys. Like just talking about running backs in systems. Hearing Barry Sanders talk football warms my freaking heart.
Here's the kicker, man. And I used to be so pissed that he would never be in on third down plays. Very rarely did you see Barry Sanders in
he wasn't gonna
on
lock
a third
anybody.
down. I don't care. You put him in anyway. It bothered the hell out of me. How do you not use him every single time? Obviously, give him a breather. But he could have done so much more. You know, we joke about it. Christian Okoye, he had the AFC rushing championship. He had the NFL rushing championship in the bag at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Barry played the 4 o'clock game. They asked him, you only need 3 yards.
At the start of the fourth quarter, he only needed 3 yards.
You only need 3 yards. He's like, nah. They were winning big at the time. He's like, nah, I'm good.
So going back to what Ryan said, it's just because the stars in Detroit always seem to stay away once it's over. Calvin stayed away once it was over. Barry stayed away once it was over. Miggy seems like the type of guy that's going to stay away once it's over. Meanwhile, other franchises that have Super Bowls and titles and big players, Hall of Fame players, their players are always in the spotlight, always doing things. So I agree with you there. The offense for me, that if I wanted the ball, it would have been Holmgren's offense in the early 1990s when he first got to Green Bay, and then Brian Billick. Brian Billick was offensive coordinator of the Minnesota Vikings that 98 season, the magical year with Randy Moss and Chris Carter. You look at what Holmgren's bought when he bought Brett Favre as well as that system to Green Bay in 1991. 1991, Sterling Sharp, one of my favorite receivers of all time. I think he's done the most ever in the shortest span of space in terms of his yards. 69 catches, 961 yards, 4 touchdowns the year before Holmgren got there. The year Holmgren got there, Sterling Sharp goes to 108 catches, 1,461, 13 touchdowns. And then the next year, 112 catches, 1,311 touchdowns. And then the next year, he broke his neck and retired with that injury. Holmgren's offense was ridiculous. Like the things that he made him do, it was so fun to watch. It was a thing of beauty. And even when Sterling broke his neck and he was done, insert Robert Freeman, insert Antonio Freeman, insert Javon Walker. So Holmgren and Brian Billick, man, yards are undescribable what I've been able to do.
Guys, Jared Goff, I want to get to some Super Bowl talk now. Jared Goff had some kind words, if you will, for Matthew Stafford. We'll share those with you next. Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line. Oh, and by the way, Barry had 3 games of just 105.
Hey, man.
Come on, man.
Look.
Barry could have had 3,000.
Barry.
Especially at Ford Field. Come on, man.
Barry.
Edwards and Ermanni, the bottom line.
6 dark corners, a driveway and a patio, 5 windows that could become doors. Every house has unique security challenges. Guardian Alarm has more tech, more team, and more ways to help keep them all safe. Get a professionally designed and installed security and smart home system from Guardian Alarm. Sign up today and get a free video device. Guardian Alarm. Smart, right from the start. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT.
Putting on a show here, and that's how you answer. We love our sports. We just wish they'd love us back. Detroit sports for Detroit sports fans. Woodward Sports.
Hey, gang, it's Matt for the Foaling Warehouse in Hamtramck. Foaling, the fun game, throwing a football at bowling pins. Lots of ways to play it as well. Don't forget to say hello to the great host of the Foaling Warehouse, the inventor, Chris Hutt, and his wife, Noni. Make sure you tell them Woodward Sports sent you. A couple ways to play it. You can host a corporate party, team building event. Just come in with your family and friends. You got 2 ways to play this game. $10 unlimited open play. You can go in when they open, and you can stay until they kick you out. Or a private lane reservation, going to run you $120 for 2 hours. You can have up to 10 people on a lane. How about that? Plenty to drink as well. They got over 100 beers, the $2 mystery beer machine, multiple full bars. You can bring your own food in or even have it delivered. You got a huge place. Hang out. Have a great time. Make sure you go get your foal on. Check them out at foldingwarehouse.com.
And, of course, the Stafford Bowl. Yep, you know it's coming. 4:30 to 6:30. We'll be live from the Brass Rail in Detroit. You can follow us on socials at Woodward Sports. February 13th, that's right. Going to be a watch party that follows to watch the Stafford Bowl with hundreds of your favorite Lions fans. Woodward Sports, Cintron, Gypsy Vodka, and Planet Fitness bringing you the Stafford Bowl. How about it?
SB.
Braylon's going to be there.
I know.
Going to be a lot of fun. Stick will be out there. A lot of the gang from Woodward Sports will be out there, and we hope you will be too. Thank you. We are at 161 likes as I see it. Let's see if we can get to 175 by the end of this segment. Let's go. Smash that like button. Let's get to 175 at the end of this segment, in which we are going to talk a little bit about Jared Goff and Matthew Stafford. This Matthew Stafford love, first and foremost, and I think Braylon said it best a little bit, are we getting a little tired of it? I mean, I know it's Super Bowl week, and every year, like Kelly Stafford was on Good Morning America this morning, every year there's a focus. Whether it's Peyton Manning and Tom Brady.
I was so sick of that. I can't even tell you.
The focus, there are so many other players that are playing in this Super Bowl outside of Matthew Stafford, but all of the focus seems to be on number 9. Jared
he deserves it.
He does deserve it a little bit, but I feel like it's just so much. Jared Goff made some comments. Let me put these up on the screen for you. Always been a fan of Matthews. What he went through the first part of his career was tough. Seeing him battle through that, it's amazing. So that was Goff. Michael Silver commented on this as well. Jared Goff was interviewed by Michael Silver, one of the sports writers. It's how it goes. You know, he was asked about, well, his former team, the Rams, is in the Super Bowl, and Matthew Stafford's leading the way now. It says, it's how it goes. Everyone runs their own race, and everyone gets their chance. I'm so happy for Matthew, so happy for Cooper, so happy for Whitworth to get another shot at it. Because the last time the Rams were in the Super Bowl, the Lions quarterback now, Jared Goff, he quarterbacked that Rams team in the Super Bowl. It was a loss.
Yeah, so I mean, you know, it's one of those things where good people are always wish blessings and good favor. Matt Stafford is one that's never ruffled any feathers. He's always been like great in the NFL community. He was always great in the Detroit community. And Jared Goff's one of those individuals. He's a very nice guy and appreciative. You hear a lot of people come forward now this year with their appreciation and watching Goff and watching Stafford over the past 13 years and like wanting him to have success and liking what he could do. With Jared Goff, he's got there. He got to the Super Bowl. Sean McVay didn't call the best game. Jared Goff didn't play the best game. They didn't have, as a team, the best game, and he remembers that. But, you know, he's still wishing he's a good person, too. He's a great person. It's almost, listen, this is very similar to listening to Brad Holmes at the Senior Bowl. He said, they're playing in the Super Bowl, and here we are coaching in the Senior Bowl. So it's very similar, but he's a good guy. He's a good kid. It's two good people. Matt Stafford's a great player, great person. Jared Goff's a good player, good person, so it's a good interview, I think.
Hey, man, the Stafford love affair. We get it. We heard it since day one. Remember Al Michaels and everyone fawning all over him, fawning all over. He played in Detroit. We all know it. It's fatiguing to hear that your team sucks. We all knew it. But not many people outside of Detroit knew the Lions' plight until Matthew Stafford left town. And then all of a sudden, all these sports writers, Seth Wickersham does a expose on him. The fluff piece. They all go on him, and they're all. Remember how sick and tired at the beginning of the year we were about? Oh, this Matthew Stafford story is so wonderful. Then comes mid-season into the end of the season where he sucked. Actually, he fatigued. They hung in there. They won the games. Their schedule, they did all right. They hung in there. But we all said it here in Detroit. He's always going to Stafford. Matthew's always going to Stafford. And then he won his games in the playoffs. And here he is. So are we going to be sick of it? Maybe a little bit, but for the most part, we get it.
Maz, try to follow me on this one, if you will. Alex, you could drop that. Try to follow me on this one, if you will. People love to stick it to Detroit. Whether you talk about, movies, Detroit's always on the what end of the stick in movies. Whether you talk about the bankruptcy situation, 8 years or so ago, however long ago.
Kwame.
Whether you talk about Kwame, which is why Trump pardoned him, it was another shot at Detroit. People just love to stick it to Detroit. Whether we haven't been to a Super Bowl as the Detroit Lions, although we have more championships in other ways in most cities, period. But that's neither here nor there. This is another shot at Detroit, to be honest. Like, the love affair with Matt Stafford nationally is another shot at Detroit. It's more of a, see what happens when they let one get out of there and they let somebody go somewhere else. It's more of a shot at Detroit than it is an actual love affair for Matt Stafford. Because now they're able to take Matt Stafford and say, man, what would have happened if Calvin would have went to the Raiders? What would have happened if Bobby Ross didn't piss off the best running back of all time? It's a slap in Detroit's face. It's what you call, in the industry, a backhanded compliment.
Now, how about all the pitchers that left the Tigers? Each one of them will win a World Series and a Cy Young. I mean,
Verlander, Fister, Sanchez.
Scherzer's making $40 million a year right now.
Porcello.
Oh, my God.
Did you see that stat on Scherzer, his strikeouts?
Yeah.
Like, he just started in 2008, but if you go back to 2002, he has the most strikeouts, and he wasn't even playing. In terms of the total number, it's hard to explain, but Jesus Christ, he strikes everybody out.
It's WTF stats, if you even want to look at it. It's a great follow, and there was a Max Scherzer one yesterday you might want to go back and look at.
You ever find yourself looking at something on just anything, and you yourself – either one, don't have the time to break things down, or two, you don't want to, or three, you just may not know. In this particular one, I didn't know how to break this one down. I dove into those comments. I was like, somebody's going to explain this. And I found out how to explain it. Once they explained it in the comments, I said, damn, Scherzer's a bad boy. Like, once it was explained.
Yeah,
we let him walk.
It is, and it's going to be really cool to see Stafford playing a Super Bowl. I think for the most part, too, like you said, Maz, so many people who never paid attention to the Detroit Lions.
They don't know how bad we were.
They don't know how bad they don't know how bad we were, but they don't know how good he was.
Yeah.
And at the beginning of the season, when we were like, oh, Stafford, this, that, and the other thing, at the beginning of the season, Stafford still did not have a division championship on his resume. He did not have a playoff win on his resume, and he certainly didn't have a Super Bowl appearance on his resume. He has slayed the dragon.
Everyone.
I mean, slayed every dragon.
He backed into the West Championship.
Beating. You can come up with any obscure stat with it. He was with the Detroit Lions. He never beat a team that was more than 5 games over 500.
Right.
That's an incredible stat. So he's done that. He won a division championship, 3 playoff games, beat Tom Brady, ended Tom Brady's career essentially, and now he's in the
Snatched
Super Bowl.
His soul, as he
That's
said.
right.
Snatched his soul. So the guy has done everything that we want him to do here in year 1 in LA.
The biggest thing that has come out of Stafford this year for me, and you can call it the biggest number, you can call it the biggest thing to pay attention to. Whether he was right or wrong, or whether he was at fault, whether it was mostly his fault, some of his fault, whatever it was, the situation in Detroit, it beat him down so publicly in Detroit for so long and around the league that you almost saw that you almost forgot an amazing number. And I forgot that number until this year. Are you ready for this number? The number, you can't see it. It's bad.
33.
The number is 33. I forgot that he was that young. That Joker's 33 years old. You know how much life this man has left? And that's why the pressure's on Sean McVay to see what's not on Stafford. Stafford, as Maz like to say at this point, is now playing with house money because he's done everything he was supposed to do. He's exceeded what he was supposed to do in terms of getting traded there. He's 33 years old.
I feel like he's got 4 elite years left.
Easy.
33 years old.
4 elite
By the
years
way,
left.
yesterday was his birthday. We forgot to tell him happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Matt Stafford. Go
What
win
a present.
yourself a Super Bowl. Maz's videos of the day.
I got some great ones, by the way.
You got great ones today.
Great ones.
How good would his birthday was today? That would be better. Today's the 9th.
Good point.
There you go. He missed it by one day, one number.
He should wear number 8.
I know, right? Is it too late to switch?
Ermanni and Edwards. Hey, give me the 175. I need 7 likes.
Let's get it.
Give me the 175.
200.
Well, just
we always close with like Seabiscuit.
by the end of the commercial, I'm saying.
Okay. We
just
always
to the end of the
close. We're
commercial.
closing.
Give me 175. Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line. 200 coming.
Tuck.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers.
Monday, February 21st from 11 to 1 p.m. Join Woodward Sports and Big D Energy for the grand opening of the Berkeley Chili Peppers Tanning on Woodward between 11 and 12 Mile. Come hang and join the Pepper Club. Best deals on unlimited tanning.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Make sure you're listening to Woodward Sports all day long. Start your morning with the Morning Woodward Show. Spend middays with Big D Energy. Watch and listen your drive home with the bottom line. And don't forget about Woodward Bets Daily. All live, all right here on the Woodward Sports Network.
Come join Planet Fitness now at $0 or $10 a month. I'm going to tell you why. Because it is home of the judgment-free zone. That means you can work out, do whatever you want, however you would like to work your workout out. As long as it is in the guidelines, that is Planet Fitness, then you can come on down and have a good time. Right now, I'm trying to tell you, Planet Fitness is where it is at. There's a location near you, I promise, because they have over 2,000 locations worldwide, and also a new location downtown Detroit, or excuse me, midtown Detroit at the Detroit Pistons Performance Center. Oh man, this is where it's at. Gotta join Planet Fitness. If you want the black card is only $22.99. Enjoy anytime tanning, free use of the massage chairs. Oh, this place is the place to be. Planet Fitness, where you need to go to work out, but you also can work out at your own pace. $10 a month, $0 down at planetfitness.com. www.planetfitness.com.
Hey, gang.
Hey, gang.
Want to tell you about Les Stanford Chevrolet, located in Dearborn on Michigan Avenue. Les Stanford is your Corvette king. That's right. GM announced the all-new 2023 Corvette Z06. It's flat, plain V8, capable of 670 horsepower, making it the most powerful, naturally aspirated V8 in production. That's
Say
right.
that again 5
You
times.
ready for this?
I'm ready.
0 to 60 in 2.6 seconds.
Man,
I'll say it again. 0
right.
to 60 in 2.6 seconds. For
Sound-
more, head over to CorvetteKing.com, CorvetteKing.com. Also, for all your other Chevy or Cadillac needs, LesStanford.com, LesStanford.com, Les Stanford.
Find new roads.
That's right, baby.
Find them.
Find them. Michigan just announced 5 minutes ago as well, Grant Newsome, addition to the staff, tight ends coach.
Oh, good. Nice. I have to do some homework on him.
There you go. 5-star addition to the full-time coaching staff.
Harbaugh's he's trying to make him in fast. He's trying to get this thing locked.
Another younger guy.
And key.
There you go.
I don't mind.
Thanks to everybody who is watching on the YouTube chat.
sir.
We certainly appreciate everything you've done for us in the chat and on the likes. Smash that like button for us, please. We're trying to get to 200 before the end of the show. It helps the show. It helps the network, YouTube. Highly liked videos helps YouTube push out content throughout the platform. Yeah. So the more likes we get, the more views we get, essentially, because YouTube pushes that out. So we certainly appreciate all your help. And while you're at it, like the Morning Woodward, like Big D Energy as well, and subscribe to the network. Woodward Bets as well.
Scotty G.
Scotty G's got some best bets for tonight. And subscribe to the network. We are less than 300 subscribers away from 20,000, which also gets Woodward sports content out to the masses.
Do that, man.
Big show tomorrow, as a matter of fact. Darren Ravel, national business writer. We're going to talk NIL with him, some Super Bowl stuff as well. And Rob Sims, former Lion, obviously a partner with Calvin Johnson in the cannabis business. He's going to join us, talk a little Matthew Stafford. He used to block for him, if you remember.
Guess what else is coming back, man?
What?
Braylon's 60 seconds of basketball, baby.
Oh,
Braylon's basketball minute is back tomorrow,
Trade deadline edition.
Trade deadline edition, man.
Ooh-wee.
Let's talk about it. I can't wait. I got some good stuff, too, man. I don't want to tease nothing.
I'll get that Globetrotter music ready for you.
Hey, man, have it ready.
It's the time of the day we like to play
Maz's videos of the day.
Hey, fellas, you know the scoop in town, the NFL biggest project. They're the biggest and they're the best. Thursday Night Football next year, just in case you forgot, is going to go to Amazon Prime. Right now, it's looking like Al Michaels is going to be the voice for that. Not official yet. They're trying to get Troy Aikman as well. This is like what they're going to look like. They've already have the promo video out. This is what Amazon Thursday Night Football is going to look like. They got it all coming out for you already. We got their logo.
Is this 88?
Is that something? It looks like.
It's like 88.
It looks like a throwback. I kind of like it.
It does.
I kind of like
video.
it. But for the next 11 years, Thursday Night Football will be on Amazon Prime. So get ready to rock. And they're only going to take off from there.
Yep.
So who knows what the landscape of NFL on TV is going to look like going forward. You might not be watching it a lot on CBS, NBC, ABC anymore. Just look out, man.
Incredible.
This guy don't stop.
They were supposed to be a delivery company, and now here they are.
Yeah. With the NFL.
Thursday Night Football.
This guy was selling books out of his garage.
It started off as book. It was a book site.
Bookstore.
Man, it's not. Hey, that's what you call the power of adaptation.
Did you guys read that story the other day?
I did.
I didn't click on it, but was his yacht so big he couldn't get by a bridge?
They had to take down a bridge down. They're going to put it up.
Where was this?
The bridge is not used anymore,
Okay.
by the way, but it's still there. It's a landmark. And he paid for it to be taken down. And then, usually for boats, they put the mast up after it gets through a bridge or something like that. Not for him.
I mean,
they throw that mast up.
You $250 billion in. You do what the hell you want to do.
He'll take the bridge down.
Wow.
They're going to put the bridge back up, though, apparently.
That's unbelievable.
Yes.
The power of Amazon.
Power
With
of the
MAZ
coin.
in the middle of it, by the way.
Bezos.
I always point out to my girls.
MAZ.
My girls are like, look, girls, look what the arrow is under. It's under MAZ.
There you go. Nice.
Just thought that was a cute little side note.
Good. You ever notice the arrow between the E and the X in FedEx?
Yeah?
Yeah?
Yeah.
The arrow?
Yeah.
There's an arrow between the
Yeah.
E and the X in FedEx.
That's their little logo.
Yeah.
That's like, I love
that, right?
Yeah.
I love doing the hidden logo
Yeah,
stuff.
the hidden logo is great.
That's good stuff. I didn't know that, but that was good
You
anyway.
didn't know
I did know it, but I'm glad you brought it up. I just didn't.
I'm gonna show it to you again.
Hey, let's take you back to 1986. The slam dunk contest where it was
Let's take it back to something I know.
the real slam dunk contest. Spud Webb. That's all you got to say.
Dominique.
5'7".
So impressive. Now the
Allegedly.
timing that ball should bounce just
Look
right
at that.
to reach it at the height.
Allegedly.
One of my favorite
5'7"
words in
inches.
dictionary.
Oh, man.
Reverse.
Crazy.
Without being able to palm the
The
ball.
thing that was so great about this dunk contest, and you got to listen to Dominique and Spud. They did an interview about 15 years ago. They're sitting side by side. I think it was a TNT interview. And it was at the All-Star game, I think. It was when, who was it? It was Josh Smith. Josh Smith won when it was in Denver. And he took off, put on the Spud Webb to Dominique, whatever. And Dominique talks about the fact Spud never dunked in practice. He never dunked in the game. He didn't know he could dunk. So when Spud enters the dunk contest, like it was kind of like, wait, what? And it was a laugh and it was a joke. So after Spud wins the dunk contest, the team used to mess with Dominique like the rest of the year. He get on the bus and they just look at him like, damn, you let Spud beat you? Like it was like a running joke.
Oh, my God.
Apparently, Spud never dunked in the NBA or in practice up until that dunk contest. He had dunked in college.
Amazing.
Unbelievable.
Hey, let's keep it in basketball. Who said girls can't dunk? I'm not sure if this is a high school game or whatever, but just check this. Just check this out. Look at this.
Hold up, Jalen!
Lower the volume because there's a curse word. We don't want the curse word. Look at this again.
Oh, my God.
Look at
That
this
ain't a female. That's
again.
That's Ja Morant.
Is this high school or college?
That's Ja Morant.
Oh, my God.
What
She's
the-
hanging on the
That's
rim?
a woman. That's a girl.
That's a woman.
It's a girl. This ain't Candace Parker's dunk.
Nah, that was some BS. That right there is Ja Morant's like.
Oh, my God.
Isn't that unbelievable?
That's what you call a.
Now that's a woman.
Oh, my God.
Holy crow!
It is a
Awesome.
different day.
If you're listening on the radio or you don't have the YouTube on, you must go back and watch that
out,
dunk.
man. She banged that out, and it was a boom out.
Holy
it was
cow.
like
And
SHIT.
I leave you with another boom. It's Olympic skiing. You got to listen to
Put
it.
her and Caitlin Clark on the same team.
Oh, my God. Do you imagine?
Are we going to get pulled down for this?
I don't think so.
Olympics?
I don't think so. There's
Okay.
no logo or nothing on it. It's quick.
And it's, you know.
It's quick.
End of show.
Yeah. Olympic.
You got to hear it.
Is it this year's Olympics?
I can't tell.
Yeah, no
Yeah,
go on
Olympics-
the Olympics.
Olympics don't mess
I
around.
don't want to get pulled down.
Okay, but as we're leaving, Alex will play it for you. And
No,
you won't play
what are we
it? Okay.
doing? Why do you want to get pulled down?
Oh, no, I know. I thought that's what he was saying. I'm sorry.
No.
Okay.
Olympics and NFL, very hard to play
Anyway,
on
the
the internet.
skier runs in, you know the slalom? You're
Yeah.
going down the hill. Well, he runs into a pole the way you don't want to run into a pole. And you hear him, and he stops dead there.
Oh, man.
And he's just screaming.
Thankfully, he's okay.
Did his
I think he's okay.
did his twig and giggleberry?
I
Guys,
gotta
we got to get out of here.
I
Braylon,
gotta
get us
tell ya.
out.
Hey, man,
thanks, man. 187 likes.
Yeah.
We'll get to 200 at the end of the show. We love everybody.
No, we appreciate it to the 187 likes, man. We appreciate you guys coming in and tuning in to us daily. It's the consistency of which you frequent Woodward Sports Network is amazing to us. It makes us want to do what we do. Great show today. Tomorrow will be another good one. We'll talk about the trade deadline. Braylon's Basketball Minute will be tomorrow. Just be some more fun stuff, man. Just come back. Just have a conversation. Just sit on your couch and relax. Just like we're in the barbershop,
That's
man.
it.
Just like we're in the barbershop.
Boom.
For the bottom line, I'm Edwards. That's Ermanni. That's Sam. That's the boy Alex Merritt, a.k.a. Left Tackle. And that's Uncle Maz in the chair wearing the gang green. Jets. Jets. We appreciate you guys, and we will see you tomorrow.
We'll see you tomorrow night.
So long.
Boom.
Comes in like this, he goes into an unconscious zone, and he can score versus any player. Vinny Johnson's going to heat up in a hurry. And quite a shooter and get on one of those streaks of his. Pesky, difficult. The alley-oop to Vinny. Johnson with 1 second to go. His shot is good.